Sec. Roxanne, I can't believe this. So yesterday we did the Gisele Bundchen story, how Gisele went to see some kind of a, I don't know, spiritual healer, or I threw the story away. Do you remember, what was the exact terminology? Who did she go visit? What was the do I need to bring the story back up, or do you remember? Who was it?
The actual person?
No, I don't know. Not the actual
title.
The job title. The job title.
Spiritual advisor.
I think I was just trying to remember exactly what it was. I thought it was something along those lines. So yesterday we did an item regarding the whole Tom Brady and Gisele. I'm just going to call her Giz for short.
A spiritual healer. A spiritual healer.
All right, so there we go. So Tom and Gisele and their whole situation. Spiritual healer. We had an item that Gisele was going to see a spiritual healer, and you made some kind of a comment about, I wonder if Gisele is going room to room or using that burning sage crap. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that stuff. And I can't believe what I saw. And then last night I saw a whole new story, and apparently there are pictures of some lady like at a poltergeist with the sage crap, and she was saging Gisele's car.
I know.
What the hell is going on here?
Actually, you know what I sent? I sent you that link, not last night, but the day before, the original story that came out.
But there was nothing about the sage back then.
No, but remember there was not. But remember what I said to you when I sent it to you?
What?
I said,
my mind is going.
I said, I bet Gisele sage smudged the bleep out of her house.
Why do you think I'm bringing that up? Yes, that's what I'm saying. You brought that up yesterday.
To you in an email, yes.
Are you? No. You
you
said it on the air yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
Are you listening to the show?
I'm
you
listening
tuned in?
To the show. I'm just,
tuned in Tokyo.
Processing.
Oh, wait. So Gisele's not the one smoking out her car.
No, she had this lady that looked like Carol Ann, come to the light. Seriously, I think it was the Daily Mail, or was it the New York Post? One of the newspapers had pictures down in Miami of this weird-looking lady who definitely is not a Brazilian supermodel that once wore the Victoria's Angel wings, and she's walking around Gisele's car with that it looks like a giant fatty.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a big joint.
It looks like a big, giant, humongous Pineapple Express joint. And she's walking around the car, and she's sage smudging with the sage smoke Gisele's vehicle in order to cleanse it of all the evil toxins and the negative energy. And I don't believe in this crap. I'm sorry, it's all hocus pocus. Now, Roxanne, she sage smudges her house weekly.
Well, I've asked to sage smudge this studio, but no one has given me the green light on that. So I'm not going to do it unless I have official approval.
Oh, my God. But you brought this up about, this lady. Look at
her. Look at her. There she is. Bester just brought her up.
What do you think I'm saying?
Shoes.
Wow.
I mean, this lady looks like a wreck. This lady looks like a freaking disaster.
This lady looks like she's for hire.
Oh, my God.
We need to get her in this studio today.
Is she wearing slippers?
Yes.
She's wearing pink slippers. She's got something that looks like some pants that look like the carpet in a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
She's got an orange belt I mean, this woman is
She's a
walking. She's a mess. She's a fashion mess. She looks like she's a physical mess as well.
How could you even be a fashion mess and be in Giselle's orbit?
Well, that's the point. I mean, and she's right next to Giselle in these pictures. But Roxanne, you bring up the fact about this crazy smoking stuff out with sage smudging junk to cleanse the mojo or the bad energy. And you said this on the show yesterday.
Yes.
And then this story emerges where the lady is actually using the big, giant, burning, huge joint-looking sage thing to cleanse the bad energy in Giselle's freaking car.
Not surprised.
To get the Tom Brady
Mojo,
bad energy out.
Get the TB12 out of there.
Oh, my God. This is just bizarre.
Oh, look, and there she's hugging her.
She's hugging the lady.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously close in some
spiritual
capacity.
Yeah, the photographer didn't have that shot in focus.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, it was New York Post. It was page 6, New York Post, that last night we get this new development on the damn sage smudging. Holy hell. Yes?
I wonder if she... No, I mean, sometimes celebrities allow paparazzi pictures to be taken because they want a certain message out there. But don't you think these were ambush photos? Like, she did not want these out there.
I don't think that Gisele Bündchen wanted pictures of some lady that looks like she's right out of Poltergeist. Come to the light, Carol-Ann. Come to the light. Carol-Ann, come to the light and I'll sage smudge you. No. I don't think she wanted these pictures out.
If you would have said this woman was from people of Walmart, I would have totally believed it. With pink fuzzy sneaker or slippers.
You're right. This is a shot. This could be in the Walmart parking lot, this picture. And you can see she's holding the burning sage.
Is it called smudging,
It's
Roxanne?
sage smudging.
Dude, how many times we just said sage smudging 26 times since we started the show.
I don't know if it's exclusively sage they burn. Could they burn other incense, Roxanne? I don't know about this.
I don't know. I just always know that sage is the cleansing, clean out the bad energy herb or whatever.
If you believe in that stuff,
Yes.
and I don't, you do.
Yes, I'm not saying I go to some church of sage smudging, but I mean, I know about it, and I've done it a couple times.
The
And it
Church of Sage Smudging.
I could probably get you an appointment with this lady. You're in Miami all the
My
time,
God.
right?
And then look at whatever she's wearing underneath the awful maroon top. What this lady is like a wreck.
How can she even be friends with Giselle?
I don't know.
The epitome of fashion and elegance.
Is Giselle like sucked into this whole thing? Is Giselle like writing this lady checks for like $250,000 to?
I bet she's paying her a lot
to get rid of the evil spirits now. Oh yes, Giselle, you're gonna have to give me the spirits.
How'd she find her?
The spirits need $250,000 to vacate. Yes, Giselle. Yeah, where do you find a sage smudger and some kind of lady to get rid of the Tom Brady bad energy? Oh my, this is just bizarre. All right, well, we gotta deal with this later on because I gotta find out how the hell do you hire somebody like this? What, you go on the internet and you Miami sage smudging poltergeist lady? How do you find this? All right, just getting rolling, folks. It is the MJ Morning Show here on a Friday as we're getting ready to close up the week. We got a lot of stuff today, so you don't want to move. Hey, my buddy Wade over at Two College Brothers, 5 at 6:19. MJ and the crew here. So, Fester, do you remember this was some time ago, and it was when we were over on Gandy working at the old radio station. There was some big collection. I can't remember what it was for. It might have been for the holidays, for Thanksgiving, or for Christmas.
Like a toy drive or something?
No.
Or-
Yeah, it
or
was
like
a food drive. It was a food drive, and I think it might have been for one of the food banks in the area. I don't know whether it was Metropolitan Ministries but there was a big food drive, and who was it that was caught like taking the canned food from the lobby and eating stuff for lunch? It was one of the employees at the radio station.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I don't know which of our stations is doing it, but there is
I think some of our salespeople are organizing.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah. Because all of our stations, we're doing organized collections for the American Red Cross for cash. And, we have that special link, myq105.com/donate, and you can quickly donate $10 or more to the American Red Cross online for our neighbors just south of us in Southwest Florida in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. And it's a very important link, myq105.com/donate, because our company, which is based in Naples, right down there, they hooked up with the American Red Cross to make sure that all of the donations via our link, myq105.com/donate, all of those donations get earmarked for Southwest Florida. Now, listen, the American Red Cross, they do a lot of great work nationwide, but in this particular case, I think a lot of our listeners want to make sure they directly help the people that are in Charlotte County and Lee County and Collier and DeSoto, Hardee, and, just the counties that were really affected by this, and your donation goes there. And, $10 is the minimum, but the point is that with the American Red Cross, what they want is cash, because they can immediately go to all of the outlets that they have and organize, large purchases of whatever is needed. So it's just logistically easier. But there are plenty of groups that are bringing items down, and there are organizations that are helping to distribute, and that's a great thing as well. So it looks like some salespeople are coordinating something, and there's a whole pile of donations in the corner of our lobby. And I've watched it grow over the last couple of days, and it just struck me coming in this morning that somebody was caught taking canned food from a food bank collection at our old radio station. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Was it malicious? I mean, did they know that
they were eating it for? Was it malicious? No, it was common for us to have canned goods sitting in a box in a lobby that had some sign collecting for charity for hungry people at the holidays. Yeah.
All right. Maybe this person wasn't in on. Was it a secretary?
I can't, but they were caught on surveillance video, and then they went back and watched the video, and they had gone back numerous times over several days, and they were just taking some of the canned food.
Awful. Like
Chef Boyardee and canned corn, and they were taking the food bank donation, and I think they even caught them heating stuff up in the microwave. They were opening up the cans in the station kitchen.
It was like the chunky soup.
Yeah.
It was stuff that you could have and enjoy for lunch that day.
Whatever it was, they caught them taking the food items, and then they were heating them up and having the stuff for lunch. They were taking the food bank donation cans and just making that their own lunch.
I feel like what, Fester, you were asking is it was someone who really was hungry themselves and really had food scarcity issues in their own life, but it sounds like it was just a worker who was cheap.
I don't know.
That, or they didn't want to go out to, Checkers down the street or whatever the hell that was, right?
It's pretty despicable.
Or Sonic. Is that Sonic still there? There used to be a Sonic on Gandy. Is that gone?
I don't know. I haven't been down Gandy in a minute.
I don't hang in those parts.
Yeah, there used to be a Checkers down there and a Sonic. I don't even know if either are still there. That's weird. Oh yeah, Sonic on Gandy.
Permanently closed.
Permanently closed. Oh, it had a 2.8 on Google. Hold on, bring up the reviews. Bring up 4411 West Gandy is where it used to be 9 years ago. Wait a minute. Has this thing been gone for almost a decade?
That's the last review that was posted. 8 years ago was the last
Oh,
review.
my God. Sonic Drive-In, 4411 West Gandy. And it was sort of near, I think, Gandy and Manhattan, right?
It was in that.
Was it just to the west of that Burger King and the CVS that are on the corner there? I think it was.
I think it was right where the CVS is now.
And there was a remember there was an old Winn-Dixie back in there?
Yep.
That old that shopping center back in there, which I don't know what the hell is in that shopping center there.
It's a church now.
Is it really?
So the Winn-Dixie is a church that still has a produce section.
I go back to I want to see the reviews.
Well,
I want to see the last review it was left by Clay Wilkinson, a local guide on Google.
Ooh, he left 14 reviews.
9 years ago, rather. 14 reviews, 9 years ago. He wrote, "This location evidently has no management. The employees are not professional at all, and you can tell when ordering they're not paying attention. Our second to last trip, there was a promo sticker in my girlfriend's Java chiller. We decided to give it one more try and we'll never go back after this latest visit. We pulled up to the menu and started to order. The employee wasn't paying attention, and we had to repeat the burgers we wanted and what kind of sundaes we wanted. They still got one of the burgers wrong, and it was cold. They didn't ask if I wanted tots.
Oh, no.
Instead of fries, I got tots. They also forgot our corn dog.
Oh, man.
We love Sonic, but we'll never visit this location again." Well, apparently you weren't alone because the damn thing closed.
Yeah.
I love how they say the employees just don't pay attention when they're taking orders. Like,
Clay's review was the nail in the coffin of this Sonic.
That's what shut that sucker down, man. I'll tell you, that's what did them in. Yeah, bunch of bad reviews on here. But what is that space now? What
I think it's like, isn't it like an Applebee's or something right there also?
is that?
Next to the.
Yeah, you have like CVS, you got the Burger King, and then, I think there's an app. Maybe that's the old Applebee's.
Since Gandy built that flyover, I have no reason to stop on Gandy Boulevard right now. Since Kojak closed and they have that flyover, I zip right to the Leroy.
God, I hate that flyover.
I love it.
I hate the Gandy. It just changed the whole feel. It just feels like it's cheap and industrial down there now.
I love it. It can get you where it gets me to my Botox.
You got to
face,
go
like in
where you
5
want to
minutes.
go. Yeah, really?
Gandy's always been cheap. So.
All right, listen, it hasn't been a highfalutin zone, but still, it just felt more cozy. You know, that jammed up, backed up, 5 p.m. traffic.
Felt cozy.
That awful traffic. You really got to know your neighbors.
It just felt cozier. I really, and I'm not claustrophobic at all, but it just feels all closed in. I do not like the flyover. In fact, you know what? I'm going to start a petition to remove it.
Start knocking it down.
I'm going to start a big old petition. Remove the flyover.
I'll get the mayor on the line. We'll work on that.
I think that's what we ought to do. All right, listen, I got a great pile of early more. I would got to know who stole the food. Who was that?
Oh, someone says it's an app that Sonic is now an Applebee's. Did you guys say that?
Yeah.
Fester just said that.
I think it's the Applebee's
Yeah.
locations where the
Yeah.
Sonic is.
That's great. You're getting texts,
Mm-hmm.
obscure former Sonic locations, and we're getting texts from people. That's fantastic. Love it. It really is incredible. I'm talking about the garbage truck story yesterday, and how many calls did we get on garbage truck leaking juice?
Guys who've worked in the industry intimately and knew the exact piece
Exactly.
of the machine that was faulty.
Yeah,
Incredible.
So yesterday, for the early crowd, I told the story about garbage day in my neighborhood on Tuesday, and I walked the dogs on Tuesday night as I do. What day did I take off? I took off Wednesday from walking the dogs, right? Yeah, I took off Wednesday because the dogs got a bunch of shots because they had their vet annual visit, and they were all lethargic because they got rabies and they got a whole bunch of shots. So I didn't walk them on Wednesday night, but Tuesday night I did, and our trash day is Tuesday. And when I walked the dogs, the whole neighborhood had like this funky dumpster smell.
Ew.
But that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it was, you know what? I don't want to get too long here. Let me take a quick break. And for the early crowd, I've got morons in the news coming up. So we got a great pile of early morons in the news. We'll get to that next. And I'm just going to do a quick little recap of the dumpster funk, dumpster juice story in my neighborhood. It's ugh. But I couldn't believe it. Our phones lit up. I mean, we're highly rated with, I guess, folks that are in the garbage and refuse business.
I mean, they know trash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, hold on. All that is next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. All right. a whole little collection. I've added some new songs there, Fester.
I'm very impressed with your variety of rejoins.
Do you like our rejoins? I've added some new ones. How about, do you know this one? Does this sound at all familiar? Yeah, folks that listen at this time at like 6:35, 6:37, you'll notice that we go right into the morons in the news.
Did he say Barbara Streisand?
Yeah, remember this?
I thought this was a commercial. Is this music for a commercial?
No, this is a song. This is, what was it, duck sauce or something? You remember this?
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand.
Oh.
Remember this?
So
It's actually, I think, a different song, but then someone else added the whole, Barbara Streisand to the whole mix. Yeah, so that's a new one for the Rejoin collection. And, when we do the last break every morning, we come right out and we get right into the morons in the news. Oh, here's another one we just added. Oh, yeah.
all right.
I think these are
I
great.
like that one.
We can't use House of Pain
Why not?
because that song is too good. I
To
get,
own-
excited
yeah.
to think I'm actually going to hear House of Pain.
Yeah, I don't think that House of Pain is in the Q105 music library.
Unfortunately, that should be the more.
Is that on the
That should be the 80s and more.
80s and more?
Working a little House of Pain.
All right, so I got a good pile of morons in the news here, early edition. Get to that in a second. First, just the garbage truck recap. So for the early crowd, I talked about this yesterday, but I think it was more like 8 o'clock-ish, or it was later in the show. So just for the early crowd, I walk the dogs as I do every night after I finish my afternoon show, my syndicated project, and I go out and walk the dogs on Tuesday night, and I'm like, and I'm just trying to, what is the smell in the neighborhood? And then I notice that there are these just smudgy, like wet, gooey tire tracks down a good portion of the streets that I walk the dogs on. Because every night, little after 6, somewhere between 6 and 7, I head out and I take the dogs, our 4-year-old Jack Russell Terriers, Little Gatsby and Little Scout, and I take them out for a 2-mile walk. I've got it measured. I know my exact neighborhood walk. I know exactly. I measured it out with the car, reset the odometer, and I do a 2-mile walk precisely. And as I'm walking, there's this dumpster funk smell. It was horrific, like that rotting corpse flour. It was just terrible. And then I'm seeing these tire marks all through the neighborhood. And then I got down on my hands and knees and I sniffed the tire tracks.
Yes, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
A real deep investigation.
I didn't need to do that. But I'm sniffing the neighborhood. I'm looking at the tire tracks. And then all along the route, it looks like sort of in the spots where the truck stopped in front of people's houses to use the big giant metal claw arm to pick up their trash can and dump it into the trash truck, there were like these big piles of like smashed up trash and dirt. And it turns out that we got calls yesterday. I'm like, what happened? I even shot a video. All right, so Festa, bring up the audio here before we get into the morons in the news. Yeah, bring up the audio. All right, listen to this. All right, go ahead and play it. And unmute it. Quick. Refuse disposal engineers or garbage truck experts that are watching this right now. What the hell happened in my neighborhood? Today was trash day, and there's like all these smudgy tire tracks, I think from the trash truck. And there are these like smashed up piles of mung like under the tires. And there's like trash that's all over the place. The street smells like dumpster funk, like garbage truck juice. All right, so that I shot an Instagram video. So that video, if you want to see this, folks, the video is on my personal Instagram at Certified MJ Radio.
It's like a nasty snail trail of garbage juice.
You know what? That is a very descriptive term that you just came up with. Say that again, please.
Nasty snail trail of garbage juice?
Yes, a nasty snail trail of garbage juice. Dude, that's a new flavor of an ice cream.
Is it?
That is
That's so Ben and Jerry's.
that is a new ice cream flavor. Somebody get Revolution ice cream on the phone.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, that's a good place for it.
Move over macaroni and cheese flavored ice cream. We now have dumpster juice.
Yeah, exactly. So I shot this video and I posted it on my IG. So if you want to see it, go to Certified MJ Radio. My personal IG is Certified MJ Radio on Instagram, and give me a follow while you're there. And I did like a 20-second video of a tour of the tire, and they're still there because we haven't had rain. And the issue is that the rainy season is like over. The hurricane took the rainy season away. And usually you get rain, it would cleanse the streets. And at this point, I walked the dogs last night after taking Wednesday off because they went to the vet. They were lethargic with all the shots they got. But I was back into the 2-mile walk business last night. And the smell is still there. The junk piles, the tire tracks from the garbage truck are still there.
You just got to wait for it to burn off.
So I told the story on yesterday's show. It was later in the program, and I could not believe it. The phones lit up with folks that, hey, man, I work for Waste Management, or hey, I used to work for Waste Management, or yeah, I drove a trash truck, or I do. We had a flood of phone calls, everyone telling me what the hell happened, and I guess it happens when they compact the load, and if there are holes or if there's any kind of rust or there's some kind of breach in the garbage truck when they compact the load, what was the name? Leach. There's a name for that
piece.
That dumpster liquid. There's a name, not the
Leach?
piece. No. Leach.
Leach, I think the guy said.
It's not a piece.
I thought a leche was a fruit.
It's
a leche is a fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lychee. Lychee is the fruit.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Leche is milk.
Yeah, leche.
Spanish.
Leche is
Correct.
milk.
Okay, all right, I'm getting there.
But there's a name for the juice in a dumpster and a garbage truck, and it's called like leche or something. And it is nasty, folks. And again, it's like that Denny's dumpster funk. You park, if a Denny's is like so busy or an IHOP is so busy that you park in the way back near the dumpster on a hot August afternoon, that dumpster funk,
putrid.
that's what my whole neighborhood smelled like. Dude. And this trash truck had compacted the load and left just this humongous amount of dumpster juice that then the truck, it must have leaked onto the tires. That's what it must have been, because then the tires are rolling through the neighborhood, leaving these tire tracks of disgusting dumpster juice smell, and it's still imprinted in the street.
What happens
It's almost like it's stenciled.
Listen, it falls and it puddles, and then the back tires roll over it.
Yeah.
And then it's like a tire print every 6 feet or so.
Anyway, I wanted to bring this back up because I was just amazed that whatever we talk about on this show, the phones light up.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even tell you. We got a dumpster dump of text messages with the answer to that question, too. I couldn't even get through them. I just was like, okay, it sounds like we've got some people who know what they're talking about.
That's crazy stuff. All right, so that's the early crowd update. I was just I was shocked at the number of dumpster and trash truck calls and drivers, listening to us with like the real scoop of what the hell happened. Anyway, take a look at the video. It's a little 20-second video, and you can see what my neighborhood looks like. People are like, "Oh yeah, that's white people problems." Like, what is? Wait a minute. What do you mean white? What does that have to do with race? I'm talking about the garbage truck in the neighborhood that spread dumpster juice all over the place.
I'm sure dumpster juice is in all kinds of communities.
All right, early morons in the news. Take one. Do you remember that I did an item a couple of weeks ago? And it was sort of an update on a story that's been around for a while. Remember the former eBay executives that were so ticked off? Folks, these are like high-paid executives at eBay, and they were angry because a couple had like an eBay newsletter. And they were writing about all the pitfalls, the ins and outs, these company secrets and just observations. It was sort of a blog on what was going on at eBay. And these executives got so angry that they started harassing these people.
Yeah, they owned a website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They had a website. Listen to the update here. A former eBay Incorporated executive was sentenced on Thursday, this is last week, to almost 5 years in prison for leading a scheme to terrorize the creators of an online newsletter that included sending live spiders, cockroaches, and a funeral wreath and other disturbing deliveries to their home. David Steiner, along with his wife, they were the target of harassment from these former eBay executives. They told the court that eBay former senior director of safety and security, James Baugh, and other eBay employees made their lives a living hell. He expressed fear that other companies would use it as a blueprint to go after journalists in the future. This was a bizarre, premeditated assault on our lives with buy-in at the highest levels of eBay. Another former eBay executive, David Harville, was sentenced later Thursday to 2 years behind bars for his role in the scheme targeting David and Ina Steiner, the publisher and reporter who angered executives with their coverage of eBay.
I can't believe the creativity that went into this revenge plot with the spiders. And I mean, imagine the brainstorming meetings that those executives had to come up with all of this.
I mean, this is nuts. The scheme was hatched in August of 2019 after Ina Steiner wrote a story about a lawsuit brought by an eBay, I guess, some kind of lawsuit, and it accused Amazon of poaching its sellers. A half hour later, after the article was published, then CEO Devin Wenig sent another top eBay executive a message saying, if you are ever going to take her down, now is the time. That executive sent Wenig's message to Baugh, the security dude at eBay, and called Ina Steiner a biased troll who needs to get burned down.
Whoa.
This is insanity.
So, in all fairness, this e-commerce bites covers all kinds of internet platforms.
Yeah. So they cover Etsy, PayPal, Shopify. It's like an e-commerce website newsletter with kind of like just the news of the industry, the ins and outs, the behind the scenes deals, little happenings, whispers on the street.
Meanwhile, the journalists think they're covering some sort of, not fluff, but an easy breezy beat, and it's like they're covering the mob. But
a huge company like eBay, executives and the security chief, they're exacting revenge on an opinion website and blog covering their industry, and they decide to go on a rant and a mission against these people. Soon, Ina Steiner began receiving harassing and sometimes threatening Twitter messages. Bizarre anonymous packages started arriving at the couple's home, including a box of live spiders, a funeral wreath, and a book about surviving the loss of a spouse. So it was almost like they were insinuating that your husband is going to die, and here's how you're going to survive that grief.
Okay, so I don't think you can buy live spiders on eBay, but you can buy the wreath on that platform, and the book is still available.
Anyway, the bottom line here is, as a follow-up, those involved in the plot are going to prison. One of the executives is going to prison for 5 years.
Those are some very macabre tactics.
We're talking about eBay, a company valued at tens of billions of dollars, and they're going after a couple writing a newsletter online.
Almost makes you think that there might be some truth to whatever the couple wrote about.
I think they're great journalists. They're doing a great job.
That's unbelievable. All right, listen, I'll get to chunk 2 of the morons in the news. Oh, and my favorite quote of the day. Folks, this is next. This could be my favorite quote of the last 6 months. Quote, "We are officially out of the bonfire business."
Oh, there's a story behind that.
Oh, my God, is there? And that's next. MJ Morning Show. Got to hear it. Q105. Hey, my friends at Plan B. There, folks, it is Friday. Weekend is straight ahead. Anything relaxing? Anything fun for the Fester and the Roxanne planned for this weekend?
Mostly just time lounging around the nude beach.
Oh, which one are you going to? I was going to do that too.
Yeah,
We won't run into each other.
All right, guys, that's it. I'm just trying to lighten things up. And Fester, the Roxanne story that Roxanne's made us aware of, you don't think we ought to discuss that?
I don't.
All right.
I don't.
All right. There's an item that Roxanne has made us aware of.
It's the reason I didn't send prep last night.
Well,
I got an email from Roxanne last night because, folks, every night I get prep from the crew. I get an email from Andrew. I get an email from Fester. I get usually 2 emails from Roxanne. I usually get Roxanne Prep 1 and I get Roxanne Prep 2, and that's prep for show prep. And there are links to stories that the crew finds interesting, items that we ought to bring up on the program.
And just musings, things that are going on in my household.
little brain droppings.
And last night, I got a text. By the way, hang on.
Yeah, don't read that text. Put it in more delicate terms.
I'm going to get right to the bonfire story here in a second. Quote, "We are officially out of the bonfire business." Hang on, get to that in a second. But Roxanne sent a text
Okay, don't read that text.
to the group last night.
Please don't read
No,
that text.
I'm not.
All
No,
right.
I'm gonna. It's just you sent the text.
Yeah, we had a tragic situation.
You sent a text that says, "I'm not sending prep tonight. A lot going on. Blah 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 blah
Right.
blah."
Right.
All right. And I think we ought to mention it.
And with as few details as possible, because I don't know that
All
next
of
of
which-
kin have been notified.
Okay, all right. So
Well, you just said next of
I
kin.
know,
All
that's
right.
what I'm saying.
I
Let's say
wa-
this in as few details
But
as
look,
possible.
I wasn't even going to mention that yet, and you just
Okay,
mentioned
okay.
next of kin.
MJ, you have to tell this story either with almost all the details
No.
or don't mention it at all, because then it's not fair to anybody. We're going to tell a story but not tell you all the details, but it involves contacting next of kin. I mean, stay away from the whole thing.
Fester doesn't want me to do that.
Okay.
Fester's going into Fester negative mode, you know?
I'm
It's
with
not
Fester.
negative. It's not negative. It's that I have opinions on what we should be talking about, and I don't think that's one of it.
But our show, we do it all. We ride the roller coaster of emotions here.
Yeah, I don't
we
know
do-
if I need a roller coaster of emotions after these last
Yeah.
couple of weeks. Seriously, bro.
Well, we
Yeah.
we do a little bit of everything on the show. And all right, well, hang on. We'll ponder, folks. We'll figure out what's going on, and you'll be the first to know here on the MJ Morning Show. All right. We are officially out of the bonfire business. I think this could be my favorite quote of the last 2, 3, 4 months in recent memory. Now, this is from right here in Florida. It involves a bonfire. Now, where are bonfires prevalent? Or at what events? Or when you think of a bonfire, what are some of the events that have bonfires?
Like a pep rally or something?
There you go.
You know, like,
Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
Is that the answer?
Number one answer
All
on the
right.
board.
I was gonna say, like, you
Yeah.
know, like summer camps or something, but pep rallies, summer camps.
Survey says. Yeah, number one answer on the board. This happened up in Bay County, up in the Panhandle. My God, this came from WMBB television up there, from beautiful Lynn Haven, Florida, up in the Panhandle. This is not far from, Panama City. Lynn Haven is right in, when you go in off the Gulf, right by Panama City Beach, and you kind of go into back into like Pretty Bayou in there, and you go into those little bays. Lynn Haven's back in there. So up in the Panhandle. And Sheriff Tommy Ford of Bay County, Florida, has responded after their police agency, the sheriff's office, accidentally caused an explosion at a bonfire
What?
during the Mosley High School homecoming. Listen to the quote from the sheriff. Tonight, there was an incident at Mosley High School where the annual homecoming bonfire exploded. This has been a tradition at Mosley started by a previous school resource deputy and was without incident until tonight, according to Sheriff Ford. The deputy that set up the bonfire has done so at Mosley for the past 7 years. We're not sure yet what caused the explosion, but take responsibility for the incident. Thankfully, no one was injured. Safety precautions were in place to include the fire department on site and the students positioned at a safe distance behind a fence that prevented injury or fire, but it still should not have happened, according to the sheriff. We apologize for any distress that this caused, and I assure you that we are officially out of the bonfire business.
Oh, that's good.
This is nuts. The deputy walks to this big pile of wood, and it looks like there were pallets there. You know those wooden pallets?
And
Yeah.
the pallets are great for bonfires.
There's a whole dirt berm. This is, I don't know if it's on a field. Well, it's in some kind of a field. It looks like there's some asphalt. So they dug up a whole dirt berm, and inside the berm is all this combustible material, including wood and those wooden pallets that, you see on the racks at Costco or Sam's Club or BJ's, with all the items on. It's like a shipping pallet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're using that. It's wood, it's fuel to, make the bonfire go. The deputy walks over with a flame to light the bonfire, tosses some lit object into the pit to get things going. And obviously there was some kind of an accelerant that was used, but
Oh, my God.
can you believe? All right, Fester's looking at the video. Look at this.
That is intense.
I mean,
what? That is an explosion.
It is an explosion. The pallets go flying like 50 feet into the air. They start coming toward the students in the stands. This is insane. Listen to the audio. I want you to hear the audio. There are two different angles. The audio is pretty similar, but listen to this. Oh, you can hear the drum roll. So you got
That's what that is. Okay, all right.
Oh, you got the high school band is there. They're doing the drum roll as the deputy is walking to the bonfire pile of wood to chuck in some kind of a lit object, and the thing goes kaboom like it's some explosion in some Die Hard movie. I mean, it is insane. All right, so the drum roll, please. Here comes the deputy. Toss. You hear the explosion, and then you can hear the remnants of wood and pallets flying. Let me play it one more time. Here, listen, I won't talk. Do you hear the explosion? All right, that's angle one. Here's two. That's angle two. There are two different angles. Hey, Andrew, have you figured out a way how to get these videos up on our website?
Yeah, I have a link to the videos on the videos we spoke about page.
Oh my!
And it's interesting from that first angle, where he's walking, where your camera angle is behind the gentleman with the
officer,
flame,
right?
Well,
it doesn't faze him.
The camera angle's in front.
Yeah.
It's in front because it's like he's walking out of the fire.
Yeah.
It explodes, and the guy doesn't even flinch.
Like an action movie, like a Bruce Willis action movie. When
He didn't know enough to flinch. It happened so quickly, he got scared stiff.
That's what it looks like. It looks like when the hero is emerging, and there's the big explosion behind them, and he's walking casually down the street,
unscathed,
as the explosion goes off behind him. You're right. It's like something out of an action movie, and they're like investigating what caused the explosion. I mean, it wasn't a bomb. Listen, I'm not a fire and explosives expert. I did not, prior to the MJ Morning Show, have a stint with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. But I'm guessing that the deputy, when he piled up all the wood for the high school bonfire up in Lynn Haven, Florida, I'm guessing that he used an accelerant. I don't know whether he used gasoline, kerosene. He used an accelerant. My guess is that there was some kind of a pocket of fumes and almost like a natural gas explosion, but it's outdoors.
Right.
So there must have been a pocket of fumes, and when he lit the bonfire, tossed in the flame, that the pocket of fumes just exploded spectacularly.
So,
Fester, you can't stop watching this damn video.
No, it's amazing. And the officer, I feel so bad for him because he's only 8 feet away.
Oh, yeah. Here it is again. Listen. You're like, oh, my God. That is insane. And then someone goes to say, holy bleep. All right, Andrew, where can we find the video on the MJ Morning Show website?
Videos we talked about.
All right. If you go to mjmorningshow.com, don't do it while you're driving. I don't want someone to, call Kemp Rouge and Green if you run into somebody, all right, and to another listener. So if you go to mjmorningshow.com, on the top, just click on videos that we mentioned. It might be right there, or you might have to hit the little scroll arrow at the very top to bring the square over, bring the the tile over. But it's videos that we mentioned on the MJ Morning Show, and the link to this video is on. Let me play both angles again. Drum roll. and then you hear the wood. I mean, these pallets go flying. They're lucky that this stuff didn't like get thrown like a spear and go into like some student's skull.
No, they're very lucky nobody was injured.
But that has to be the explanation, that whatever accelerant the deputy used, who had lit this bonfire for like 7 previous years, a school tradition at this Mosley High School up in Lynn Haven, Florida, this same deputy, and then something happened. I guess it must have been a pocket of fumes from whatever accelerant, and it just exploded like a bomb.
Now, there's not actual audio of the sheriff saying we're out of the bonfire business. That's the only thing that would make it better.
Right.
I mean, he did it in a statement.
Yeah, I've got a written statement, and that's why the Bay County Sheriff up in the Panhandle is saying, son, we're out of the we're officially out of the bonfire business. But listen to the depth of the explosion.
It's heavy.
Holy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those pauses.
They had fire rescue on scene. Everybody was back safe enough. So all the safety protocols, this is why you have safety protocols.
That deputy is lucky.
Yeah.
He throws the flame into the bonfire pit, turns his back to walk away, and this horrific explosion with wood fragments and spears are going in all directions. This guy could have had a piece of pallet driven right through his back.
Yeah.
This guy's a lucky dude. We're officially out of the bonfire. You know what? That reminds me of a very, very similar quote. We are officially out of the turkey fryer business.
You know, I know a thing or two about lighting something on fire.
Oh, you think?
I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, you have.
But
got a history.
Yeah, we're out of the turkey fryer business. They're out of the bonfire business.
Oh my God, is that not intense?
Someone texted they use gasoline instead of diesel. I don't know enough about
So
accelerants
diesel's a slow burn.
Okay.
Diesel's a slower burner.
I don't think you get the fumes that can become combustible and then ignite with diesel, maybe like you'd get with gasoline or kerosene or whatever the heck they use. But man, folks, you got to see the video. It's up at mjmorningshow.com, mjmorningshow.com, and click on videos that we mentioned. All right, when we get back, we're officially out of the bonfire business. It's like Dandy Loretto and Doug Hammond and Tommy Chuck back in the day over at the Gandy.
Those guys.
Guys, we're officially out of the bonfire. We're officially out of the turkey fryer business.
Fryer business.
Yeah. Oh,
They're lucky we didn't have bonfires.
7:15. It's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, Fester. MJ Morning Show, Q105, MJ, Fester, Roxanne. All right, so we have a return to sender issue here on the MJ Morning Show. And ladies and gentlemen, boom. This begins the daily long chunk of the MJ Morning Show. You realize that starting right now, and we do this every morning, Monday through Friday, when the MJ Morning Show is on the air, we start this ridiculously long chunk of the show. We go for an hour and 20 minutes with no interruption, except when Fester says something dumb. That's
about it. That's the only interruption.
All right. Speaking of Fester.
Yes.
Return to send. I'm going to hold this thing up. Well, I'll block part of the address, but I'm going to hold this thing up to MJ TV. And again, another great feature of the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 is MJ TV. And it's a video stream that we have. The entire show is on video. Every morning you can watch us if you go to mjmorningshow.com and click on MJ TV. So from 6 to 10, you can watch us live. Now, if you miss us live, the whole video stream is captured and you can go back and watch whenever you want. You know, if you want to watch like last Wednesday's show, boom, do it. You know, so it's all archived. So MJTV at mjmorningshow.com. So I'm holding this up to the camera right now, and it is a letter that Fester sent out, and it has that yellow post office return to sender little sticker that you see, or sometimes when an item is forwarded to a new address, it's that same little kind of yellowy Post-it style sticker that they put on the, and this one says return to sender not deliverable as addressed, unable to forward. And this came right back to the return address label, which says MJ Morning Show, 9721 Executives. So it's our address here in St. Pete at the radio station.
I made those return labels.
Levi Lloyd. Dude, where are you? You paid $10 for this thing.
So
Levi.
He gave me the address. Everybody who bought one of the pictures of my naked backside.
Right.
And like 156 people have bought those pictures.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I'm proud of you. You didn't say boughten.
No, they bought.
You said bought.
Bought.
Because typically you'd say, 156 people bought in this thing. All right. So Levi Lloyd bought the image. Remember, this was Fester who was taking a shower and a picture was surreptitiously taken of him. And then Fester decided to get all of these prints made. You had like 200 prints made of you naked in the shower. It was a pool shower, and the picture was secretly taken of you from behind.
By Froggy.
With your little caved-in butt.
Yes.
And, your giant whale of a body, but your little bitty butt. And you decided to embrace this situation, this invasion of your privacy, and try to make a quick buck by selling these pictures autographed for $10 a piece.
Body positivity.
Yeah.
Well, I've shown people my rear end for decades now.
And it turns out that Levi Lloyd from Johnston City, Illinois, I guess he listens online, he purchased one for $10. Did you get the address wrong? Have you gone back to see if you got the address wrong?
I still have all the transactions in my Venmo account.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm going through them now.
You need to find Levi Lloyd, who was on East Broadway, apartment 2 in Johnston City, Illinois, zip code 62951, and see if somehow you misaddress this, because I just feel bad. The guy shelled out $10 for the pic.
I want him to have it.
And Levi Lloyd, if you're listening to the program, I mean, it sounds like Levi Lloyd in Illinois either listens to us live or catches our podcast or our stream. So Levi, if you're listening, your naked picture of Fester in the pool shower came back as undeliverable.
Oh, no.
This is the only one.
That's the only one.
You mailed out 156?
156, yeah.
Dude, you couldn't do a sellout? You had 200 pictures made. You're telling me you fell short? You fell what?
Like 30.
44.
Yeah, 44.
Yeah, 44. So you sold 156 out of 200, and you were 44 shy of a complete. I'm still surprised that 156 people would send Fester $10 for his naked picture in the shower.
Me too. And then I started getting texts from people sending me pictures of where they post the picture. Like it was on the refrigerator or if it was framed in the garage.
Oh, my God. You want to go on a diet?
Yeah, right.
Tell you what, that is a deterrent to open that fridge and eat whatever's inside. Yeah. Fester's naked, blobby, grimace-like body on the fridge door, and you're walking up to the fridge to go get some high-calorie food. Oh, yeah, it's 11:30 at night, and you're going to get that leftover Stouffer's lasagna that you fired up in the microwave hours earlier. Yeah, 11:30. That's like the worst time to eat, right? Late at night?
Yeah, late, yep.
And there's new research, by the way, which I had a story yesterday. I think it's in my pile. We should probably talk about that. But you want to talk about a new diet?
Did you say nude diet?
No, I said new, but it could be a new diet.
Sure.
If you want to talk about a new diet, Fester, you could sell the remaining pictures. You need to come up with the Fester diet plan. You put the picture of me in the shower on your fridge, and as you approach to grab the door handle on the fridge to open it up to get food, you see Fester's picture from the rear, naked in the shower, and you say, "Oops, nope, not opening the door, turning around, going back. Return to sender."
You know what? My daughter was looking at my computer and I had YouTube up and it had all of our little pictures for different segments that are on MJTV.
Right.
And there was the one with Fester and you could see his butt. She's like, "Oh, Mama, can I see that?" I had to close my computer really quickly. She wanted to look at Fester.
Oh, let him see.
But she saw a glimpse though, didn't she?
She caught a glimpse. She was
my
intrigued.
God.
She was like, "What is that?"
You
That's
can't
Fester.
take that back. You can't unsee that. Your daughter is now scarred. You think that you closed it fast enough?
I closed it very quickly.
No, you didn't.
She recognized that it was Fester.
Fester, did Levi Lloyd just call you on your cell phone? Hang on. Oh, Fester, speak in the microphone.
I'm trying to pass you my phone.
Yeah, I know that.
Time. So, no, Levi and I ended up texting each other because he ordered multiple pictures.
Oh, he did? So is this Levi with his girlfriend? He sent you a picture of his girlfriend in a bikini?
I get all kinds of stuff on my text line.
All right. By the way, Fester's cell phone is no secret.
No secret at all.
Nope. Thousands and thousands of listeners text Fester on his private cell phone on a regular basis. Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we have. I'm not wondering. That's a bad way to phrase it. Surprised we haven't seen one returned from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
No, well, I don't know that the president's even, it's gone to his mailroom. I don't think it's on his desk He's probably waiting for him when he gets back from his
What
hurricane trip.
were the circumstances? Somebody paid for you to send a nude shower photo of you to the president?
Well, part of the requirement was you go to my Venmo account, you send me $10, tell
Right.
me how you want me to sign the
Oh,
picture.
dude, I'm looking. What's wrong with you? I'm looking at the text from Levi. You got the address wrong.
How?
His text is in your.
Yeah, I see it.
The address is in your text. I'm looking at it right now.
Well, how'd I get it wrong?
His address is 203 and a half. You wrote 209 and a half, you imbecile.
Oh, no.
Dude,
Oh.
what?
Levi, I'm
You-
sorry.
You couldn't figure this out?
3-9.
My
Yeah.
God, what kind of clod are you? I take 2 seconds to look at your phone, and I see that his address is in your text, and I'm comparing it. You have the address wrong.
I gotta call him.
We got to the bottom of it.
I got his number.
I solved this thing in 2 seconds.
All right, I got his number on my cell on my.
Dude, just
Text exchange.
resend it. And
I'll tell him it's on the way.
He's at 203 and a half, not 209 and a half, as you addressed it, you bonehead.
We got
Yeah.
to the bottom of why he didn't get a picture of your bottom.
Oh,
My God, I'm touching Fester's cell phone. It's all sticky. What
Yes,
is
it's sticky.
on this thing?
jelly.
My God.
I went to Hole in One Donut this morning and got.
is that jelly?
well
Hey, Andrew, get me bleach, would you please?
on Friday?
Go find me some Clorox.
On Friday mornings, on my way to the
Soak
station,
my hand in it like I'm at the nail
I
salon.
go to Hole in One Donuts and they had strawberry filled donuts today, and I got one.
My
So-
God, that is nasty.
Jelly sludge.
All right, anyway, so get the guy the picture and try putting the right address on the envelope. For crying out loud. Unbelievable. You know, you want to hear about a cretin?
Yes.
This is terrible. A guy down in Palmetto has been accused of stealing $100,000 in hurricane relief cash from the Moose Lodge down there.
It's just another example of people that are going to take advantage of this horrific situation, this tragedy, and try to scam people.
I mean, this is just terrible. Yeah, Channel 8 had the story last night that this guy down in Palmetto is accused of stealing $100,000 in relief money meant for Florida moose lodges impacted by Hurricane Ian. According to a post from police down in Manatee, police said the money was reported stolen from a moose lodge in Palmetto. The club had been raising money for other chapters in Florida that were affected by the storm. Police identified the suspect as William Andrew Luff, Luff, and appealed for help in finding him. So what, the guy's on the lam? The guy's on the run?
Did he think they wouldn't notice?
Police said that Luff was found in Tampa on Tuesday and taken into custody without incident. So the cops down there appealed for people to try to find him, and apparently they got him. Yeah. Luff was cooperative, and a majority of the stolen cash was recovered and will soon be returned to the Palmetto Moose Lodge.
You know, as we get into this fundraising stage of the hurricane and the recovery stage, and there's going to be cash around, there's going to be opportunities for people who are looking to do stupid things.
Look at the mugshot on this guy. He's got like this.
He's smirking?
Yeah, he's smirking. He's got a smiley smirk. By the way, I'm holding the picture up on MJTV right now. MJTV on MJMorningshow.com. And the guy's got this smirky little thing on his face. Like, yeah, I did it.
He looks kooky.
You know what? They ought to stick this guy in a street up in Montana somewhere
Yeah.
and let a moose trample this dude. You know, moose are mad. They're angry. Moose can be very dangerous. If you see a moose, don't go, oh, cute little moose. Oh, I remember Rocky and Bullwinkle. Hey, Rocky. Don't do that. Moose are dangerous.
They're mean.
They are. They will charge you. They will mess you up.
He's stealing from the Moose Lodge.
This guy needs to be thrown into a cage with an actual moose up in Montana. A boner. That's just terrible. Oh, you know, I mentioned the eating issue, and we mentioned the Fester diet, and I said, hey, I had a story yesterday about this new research about when to eat. Oh, by the way, you know what I had last night that for dinner? That was so good.
Moose.
Yeah, mousse is delicious. It's in season right now.
No, chocolate mousse.
Ooh.
Big bucket of chocolate mousse.
I was thinking
Moose
like,
munch.
I was thinking like moose ribeye or something.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm going to get to this little diet thing and this new research apparently. And listen, I don't know how much stuff. It makes sense, but every day, every week, there's some kind of news story, some new research, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I had last night? And it's like extremely low calorie, totally filling. And I do this occasionally. I think the last one I made was probably a month ago, 3 weeks, a month ago. I like taking a whole head of cauliflower.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no?
You're a cauliflower guy. It's cauliflower.
It's cauliflower. Cauliflower.
Collie.
Go to the talking dictionary.
It's collie like the dog. Cauliflower.
No, it's cauliflower.
No, you're cauliflower.
It's
Nobody says cauliflower.
Cauliflower. Go to the Merriam-Webster talking dictionary and bring up cauliflower. Oh, look, there are two pronunciations. All right, hang on a minute. All right, hit number one. Go.
Cauliflower.
That's calla. That's cauliflower.
Cauliflower. Go ahead.
Cauliflower.
Hit the next one.
Cauliflower.
Wait, what?
Sound the same to me.
I say
Cauliflower.
Hit it again.
Cauliflower. Cauliflower. Cauliflower.
I mean, you're a cauliflower. There's no cola.
yeah, and I would always say calla, like you're going to call someone, but I would say cauliflower. Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. What did I say? You got me all confused now. How did I?
Okay, I'm a cauliflower.
Me too.
I say cauliflower,
Oh,
right?
no.
Cauliflower.
No.
So you take a whole head of cauliflower.
Whatever.
All right.
Cauliflower.
You take a whole head of mispronounced vegetable.
I bought a big head of cauliflower.
No, stop saying it with the
All right,
cold.
Let it go, Rox. Let's let it go. Keep them toes.
So I took a big head of this white blob vegetable. Okay?
You got this big albino broccoli here.
That's what I had for dinner last night. And I put it in a metal, like a metal pan.
Oh, a pan.
Yeah. I put it in an oven safe, like a Dutch oven kind of thing.
Okay.
I've got like a big, pot.
Yeah.
So I soaked it in olive oil, right? So you soak it. Olive oil is very healthy for you. Great fats in olive oil.
So you soaked it in olive oil. You used like 2 cups of olive oil?
Well, no, I took the olive. I used a
Like a drizzle?
a bottle of a drizzle. I have a bottle. I drizzled the olive oil and I patted it all around. I got all the olive oil in the nooks and crannies. And then I took salt and pepper and I seasoned it, added some paprika, imported paprika. I think it's all imported. I don't think that any paprika comes from Arkansas. All right. So, and I put it in the oven. I covered it up with aluminum foil for 35 minutes while I was walking the dog. And then I got home. Oven was at 375. And then I got home. I took the aluminum foil off and then I cooked it again for another 25 minutes. And man, it was like tender melt in your mouth. And wait for it, folks. This is why I'm talking about it. This thing filled me up. This was my dinner last night, right? The whole head of cauliflower, estimate 145 calories.
And that's all you ate?
That's what I had.
With the olive oil.
That's what I had. Yeah. Well, olive oil and seasoned, but I had a head of cauliflower. I didn't eat, I ate like 3/4 of it. And the whole head of cauliflower, that if I calculated the calories, the whole damn head was like 145 calories.
How many tablespoons of olive oil did you soak it in?
I have no idea.
Okay, well that's going to up your calories.
Oh, absolutely. But it's good.
Good fat.
Olive oil's good stuff. So just thought I'd give you a little cooking tip here on the MJ Morning Show.
I'm going to give you a little tip.
Yeah, what tip is that?
After you ate a whole head of cauliflower and got filled up,
yep,
you're going to be filled up for the rest of the day because cauliflower is on the list.
Yes.
Of some of the highest gas producing vegetables. Broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower.
Well, listen,
radishes, turnips, dark leafy greens.
Fester's on the gassiest vegetable list online.
Yeah, they want you to. It's like you eat a whole head of cabbage.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah,
I had no issue. And
yet, it's gonna take like half a day.
No,
have cabbage and beans for lunch, and you'll just combust.
About 2:00 this afternoon, you're gonna hear.
No, it's not.
Yes, you. Okay, watch.
But hold on a minute. Now let's morph into the whole eating thing, And Fester's got the new diet plan coming out. Just buy his nude shower picture, put it on your fridge, and you will not go to your pantry or your fridge.
Yeah, you'll thank me for it.
So you want to buy two. You want to put one in your pantry, and you want to put one on the fridge door. That is the new Fester diet. Just look at Fester in the shower. That's it. And that is an absolute food deterrent for humans far and wide. The other story, and I had this yesterday, I just didn't get around to it, but I think it makes sense, about new research pointing to the health benefits of eating earlier in the day and only eating within like a 10-hour window.
Yeah, like intermittent fasting, like that kind of deal?
No, it's not really intermittent fasting. It's eating earlier in the day and eating within a 10-hour window.
Right. The 10-hour window is an intermittent fast of sorts.
Yeah, so you only eat from like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Eating relatively early may be beneficial for weight loss, and keeping meals within a 10-hour period could improve blood sugar, cholesterol levels, according to two small studies published Tuesday in the journal Cell Metabolism. Hey, Michelle, if you're listening, go ahead and subscribe to the journal Cell Metabolism. It sounds like it's a great read.
Riveting.
All right, so the first study found that eating on a later schedule made people hungrier over a 24-hour period when they consumed the same meals earlier in the day. Late eating also led the study participants to burn calories at a slower rate, and their fat tissue seemed to store more calories on a later eating schedule than an early one. I mean, that makes sense.
We've always known that, right?
Yeah,
like, don't eat before you go to bed.
But if you eat late, then you're not as active. You're not moving around. You're kind of just lethargic. You're just kind of a lump. That just kind of makes sense. You're not inherently, you're just not burning the calories.
Well, it doesn't sound like they're getting into it in this article, but there's also a theory that if you eat late at night and then you go to bed, your body's busy digesting food rather than doing the sleep tasks, the sleep task renewal stuff that it needs to do.
Let me write that down. Okay. Sleep task renewal.
Yeah.
I think that's important stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So late eating also led the study participants to burn the calories at a lower, slower rate. Fats seem to store more calories, the fat tissue. So eating on a later schedule is worse, they say, than eating earlier, which we've kind of heard this in the past, yeah. Overall, the study suggests that eating later can increase a person's obesity risk. The second study, done among a group of firefighters, found that consuming meals within a 10-hour window shrunk bad cholesterol particles. So how about that?
Oh, that explains why on the October edition of the Journal of Cell Metabolism, a firefighter's on the cover.
Cell Metabolism.
Yeah, there it is.
There is.
It's a real
Fester actually brought up the cover of this damn thing.
I'm looking up subscription information for you and Michelle.
Yeah, so I'm not
It's going to be your Christmas gift
I'm
this
not,
year.
You don't
Subscribe.
Don't send me a gift certificate to Cell Metabolism.
Oh my God. 12-month subscriptions, $370?
Holy frig. Really?
That's a lot of money for
$370 for a 12-month. And wait a minute, it's 12-month access. I think it's probably online. Oh, I don't. Do they even publish this thing?
I want to see their mailing list. I want to sell the people on their mailing list something.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back. That's a lot of food for $370.
All right, so you want to eat in a 10-hour window. Most participants in the 10-hour group ate between the hours of 8 or 9 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. So wrapping it up, that's like real news you can use here. So the 10-hour window, 8 to 9 a.m. and 6 to 7 p.m. Use that as your eating window.
I eat in the exact opposite window.
Dude, you're on the 24-hour window.
Honestly, man. I mean, I eat dinner like at 10 o'clock at night half the time.
You probably sleep eat.
Dude, that's no joke.
Fester the sleep eater. All right, let's talk about age discrepancy. Now, when does it get creepy? I think the phones could have the potential of exploding here. About age differences between couples, between boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, age differences. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is Dane Cook. You know, Dane Cook, the comedian. And what movies has he been in?
he was in, wasn't he in Waiting?
He's been in a number of movies.
He was a comic. He
Yeah.
was a stadium comic for a while. He was a top tier comic,
Yeah.
and he kind of fell off the face
Did
of
he
the
kind
earth.
of fizzle out a little bit?
Yeah, I really
Well,
can't
he
think of
didn't-
anything he's done lately.
Well, guess what? Dane Cook at 50 didn't fizzle out with his 23-year-old fiance. Now, Roxanne, is that creepy?
No.
50-year-old guy,
Well, hold on.
23-year-old, very attractive fiance.
Okay, so you're talking 27-year age difference.
It is exactly 27-year gap in their ages. Dane Cook is 50. Kelsey Taylor, his fiance, is 23.
Okay, so I have a friend, and both of them are my friends, guy and a girl. He is going to be 73,
What?
and she is early 40s,
Okay.
41-ish. Yeah, that's even more than this couple.
So
right?
that's 30 years.
30 plus years.
Wow. All right, let's go to phones on this. I'll let you finish with your story in a
Okay.
second. Let me just get Andrew busy here on screening calls. So Dane Cook is 50. His fiance that he's going to marry is 23, and she's a smoke show. She's very attractive. I want to go to phones on this. Do you have any thoughts on ridiculous age gaps between men and women or women and men? Now, I'm guessing that the age gaps mostly are older men, younger women, but hey, we might get some calls on much older women and younger guys. I mean, that does exist. We know that. But what do you think? Is 50 and 23, is that creepy? Is that an odd age gap? And then why don't you call us up as well? You can answer that question, but also, what age gaps have you potentially been involved with? So do you have, in your relationship, do you have a crazy age gap? Or do you know of somebody, friend, coworker, anybody, with a crazy age gap? What is the difference between the age of the man and the woman? All right, 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. All right, fire up the phones. And if you have any other angle that we're not thinking of, whether is it true love? Is there just absolute gold digging? Is it a sugar daddy situation? I mean, there are so many different possibilities, and I'm not even thinking of them all. All right, so what are your thoughts, first of all, on Dane Cook at 50 and his 23-year-old fiance, 27-year gap? So if you have any thoughts on that or any other age gaps that you want to point out. Oh, what was Anna Nicole Smith?
Oh, yeah, that was
and
a biggie.
And Paw.
But he was like geriatric.
Yeah.
And she was like 20 something.
Oh, yeah, and he was like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Look at the phones. The phones have exploded here. Yeah, Rox.
Okay, I want to tell you about my friend.
All right, do your story, and then, folks, if you're on hold, hang on. We're going right to your calls in a second. If you want to get in, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Phones in a second.
So my friends who have this big 30-plus year age gap, they are one of the best couples I know. Now, she's kind of an old soul, and she doesn't look old. She looks like she's early, 41, or younger than that, actually. And he looks amazing. Like, you would never guess that he's 73.
Is he popping Viagra like Pez?
He's got to be. He's
I
got to
don't
be.
know that much. I'm not that good of friends with him, but
He goes to the candy store, buys the Pez dispenser, and they're like, would you like candy? Nope. So put my Viagra's right in.
All my Pez are blue.
but listen, I have to explain something.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I feel like most young, like 20-something girls, when they look at guys who are even 30 or older, they view them as like that old man, that old guy. And something happens to you in your late 20s as you approach 30 where you kind of start to look like a woman, and then you won't see a guy who's 45 or 50 as just like an old man. So what's odd to me about this Dane Cook story is that she's 23, because when you're 23, you literally look at 30-plus-year-old guys like, ew, dirty old man, if they want to date you.
I mean, there's also a couple of other extenuating circumstances. One,
Well, he's celebrity. So,
He's
Yes,
celebrity.
and that makes a difference.
That I think that's a big difference, and it's probably more likely to have a 23-year-old hottie dating a 50-year-old guy when it's a celebrity?
And you know why that makes a big difference? Because when did Dane Cook become famous?
Before she was born.
Right? But what age was he? In his early 20s? Or 20s, probably?
I would imagine. Comics start in the late
So,
teens, early 20s.
Guess what? When
Yeah.
you get that level of celebrityism that he got, he probably hasn't matured beyond a 20-something whenever he became famous. Because it's hard to have emotional growth when you're famous. What?
Wait a minute. It's hard.
Yes, it's
hard to have emotional
Look at
growth.
all you guys.
I mean, yes, look how famous we are.
Yeah.
I've been invited to the
Yeah.
Lakeland Chili Contest.
No,
I'm super
Yeah.
famous.
I'm a radio morning show personality. I'm on the low end of the entertainment spectrum. I'm worse
So
than
maybe
a
high on the emotional development spectrum.
radio
It's a trade-off.
DJ is worse than a game show host.
the worst.
All right.
I wish I was a game show host.
All right, let's go to phones on this. Let's start out in New York City. Hey, Chris is in New York City, listening online, streaming. Chris, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
Hi. So the age gap thing, it really depends. You know, in Dane Cook's situation, she was most definitely like 17 when they started sleeping together, because there's no way on her 18th birthday, all of a sudden, like, okay, that's not how that worked. We all know that. We're not stupid. And it's creepy, and there's a power imbalance. There's a huge power imbalance because he's super famous and she is just some young girl. And for my minor in psychology...
Hey, by the way, am I creepy for noting that she is really attractive and she's got a tight body?
That's probably giving her a little power balance.
Am I sounding creepy when...
No,
All
I mean,
right.
we're talking about
All right.
adults here.
All right, I'm sorry, Chris.
Descriptive.
All right, Chris, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But based on my minor in psychology in college, like a lot of women and some men, their brains don't mature until they're about 24, 25, and so she's not really like there yet, and they're so far apart. And he's been alive for 26 years of her non-existent life. Like it's weird.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, thanks for listening to us in New York City. You're not listening to like Elvis Duran and the Z Morning Zoo. You're listening to us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm always at work. I work in the TV industry, so you always have me in my earbuds.
Whoa. What do you do in TV, Chris?
I'm in season 2 of Sex and the
Hold on,
City right now.
you got all muffled. Say it again.
I'm in season 2 of Sex and the City right now.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, we're actually shooting today.
All right. So wait a minute. This is
The Sex and the City reboot,
this is
right?
Yeah.
the reboot, right?
Right.
And where does the reboot run? Because I saw all the originals on HBO back in the day.
I think it's going to be on HBO Max, but they're shooting in Long Island City in Queens.
Oh wow.
So that's where you are right now?
Are you at the Silver Cup Studios? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at that. I know exactly. I got Michelle's engagement ring like 3 blocks from there, from Maury the Diamond Guy.
You know what's really
Yeah,
crazy?
every morning.
Yeah.
If you've been listening to our conversation this whole time, the couple that I told you about were my friend's 40. This is her favorite show, the show you're on.
Well, look at that. How about?
Whoa.
And he's listening to us. He's in New York City. He's in Queens, Long
Yeah.
Island City. By the way, Orange is the New Black. That was shot at the Silver Cup Studios right across the way there. It's right across the East River.
So actually, where they're shooting Manifest here as well.
Oh, wow.
And their artist shop is the soundstage where Jack Donaghy's office was for 30 Rock.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, buddy, thanks for listening to us and not C100. I appreciate it.
That's hilarious. All right. Thank
Have
you.
a great day. Well, I can do more. Hey, thanks for listening to us and not
Rockin' America, C100.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us and not
Rockin' C100.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the MJ Morning Show and not
The C Morning Zoo on C100.
All right, back to the phones. Let's grab Joyce is in Largo. Joyce, we're talking this age gap story here. Joyce, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Joyce, what do you think? Dane Cook is 50 and his little tart is 23.
Well, I was married to my husband, 24-year age gap, so it's not creepy.
Oh, hold on a sec. So your husband was how old?
My husband was, he's 24 years older than me, so he was 74. He passed away, but I was 50, and he passed away.
Okay, so I'm so sorry for your loss, and I do also want to ask, if you don't mind, when did you guys start dating? How old were you?
I was 29.
Yeah, see, that's
Okay,
what,
see, that's it.
That's
That's
what we
it.
need to get at. Not the end game, but
Uh-huh.
more of the beginning game.
And
So
what
you
is- yeah.
you were 29 and he was like 54 or something, right?
Yeah, yes.
You know, that's the age. I told you, right about, I remember being 29 and people starting to tell me, Roxanne, you're looking like a woman. You lost those baby fat cheeks. You know, that's kind of when you start to be more of a woman.
You had little chipmunk
had
baby fat
chipmunk
cheeks.
cheeks.
When did you get rid of your chipmunk cheeks?
You start to thin out and look like a woman, and then you start to look at guys who are older, and you don't feel like they're creepy older. They're just older.
Got a very inappropriate.
Hey,
joke
Joyce,
on the
thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, 800, that opens up a line. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Talking about the age gap. Dane Cook, 50, his fiance, 23. Anonymous is in Tampa. Hey, Anonymous, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, MJ, how you doing?
We are well. Why do you want to remain anonymous, Anonymous?
Just for personal reasons.
All right. So what's the story? What is your thought on the age gap?
Well, it's pretty simple. I have seen both couples that have big age gaps and ones that don't have much of an age gap. At the end of the day, what matters is how much you connect to a person. But all in all, it is weird if the person is old enough that they could basically be your kid.
All right, well, that's not
That's
fair,
all I'm
because
saying.
anybody that's like 16 years older than somebody can basically be my kid. You know, that makes sense.
Exactly. However,
Oh.
how can a 50-year-old be dating a 25-year-old when that basically could be their daughter? It's just kind of weird. That's all I'm saying. I've seen it happen, but it is a little weird.
All right.
And I think that's true. Like you say, when you see that, sometimes you see the age difference and you say, wow, she looks significantly younger than him, young enough to be his daughter. So from the outside looking in, it does look, it may look strange to others, but if it feels right for them, and
That's what I'm saying.
she doesn't have daddy
No.
issues and
All right. So
It's a little weird, though.
now, how old are you?
30.
You're 30. And what is the oldest guy that you've ever dated at whatever age you were?
My husband. We're 5 years apart.
Oh, all right. So, like
All right.
Michelle and I, we're 4 years apart, 4.5 years apart or so. All right. So that's not bad. Listen, if you're 17, you're dating a 12-year-old, that's a problem. But,
Yeah, I mean, it
yeah,
evens
you know.
itself out after
it does.
20.
There's that place where it starts to even out, where it gets. All right, thanks, Anonymous. Thank you. Let's grab Steve in Tampa. Steve, you're on the MJ Morning Show. The age gap. Where are you?
I'm in Brandon.
No, I mean where.
We know where you are.
All right, so Steve, where are you on the age gap?
Well, my parents, there's a 25-year age gap between my parents. When they got married, my mother was 19 and my father was 45. I just placed them
Holy
apart now.
moly! All right, so
And they are still married today.
aw.
and how old are you, Steve?
I am 44, so my father is 93, my mother is 68.
Aw,
Your
so cute.
dad is 93 and your mom is 68.
Was it an arranged
correct.
marriage?
No,
God.
no, they're from they're from Alabama, so definitely not an arranged marriage.
Wow.
All right, so it was an arranged marriage, just not what your tradition.
Totally open to the age gap.
Hey, Steve, thanks for the call. Let's grab Red is in Tampa. Hey, Red, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Welcome.
Hey, MJ, thanks for having me.
Do they call you Red because you have red hair?
Yes.
All right. Well, that was a very sultry yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, natural redhead.
All right. So, Red, what is your thought on the age? Hold on. What did you say?
Roxanne's asking about the authenticity of her red hair,
I'm
which
the
is
only one who could say this, guys.
which-
I'm
Are
kidding.
you
I'm
doing
kidding.
Are you doing a curtain matches the drapes deal
I mean,
or whatever
Roxanne.
that? What is that expression?
Okay.
All right, she's the only one that can ask. She's the only one that cares.
Roxanne, really? That you bring that up?
Right. We'll
Roxanne,
answer that in private.
Roxanne,
Roxanne, what is going on with you over there?
you're a shock jock
All right,
over here.
all right, yeah. What are you, Roxanne Stern?
No kidding.
Baba Booey?
I'm just trying to have banter with the caller.
Are you asking about curtains and
Hey,
upholstery?
hey, Red, hold on one second. I just got to give out the cash box word, okay?
Okay.
All right, so this hour's word is pubic.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
I
kidding.
wish.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. It's not. It is not. Do not text me. All right. So this hour's word is impact. That's real. This hour's word is impact. That's IMPACT. Text that nationwide to 45911 before 8:15, quarter after, for a shot at $1,000. Or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myQ105.com. All right, Red, how old are you?
So I'm 51,
Okay. And
and I've been married to my husband for 10 years, and my husband and I are 13 years apart. I am 13 years older than my husband.
you are 13 years older than your husband. See, this is the reversal. Of course, it happens. I just think it's more common the other way.
So your husband's what, 38?
Yes, he just turned 38.
Well, and then how did you guys meet?
Through a mutual friend of ours, unexpectedly. I usually have always been with men much older than me. This is the first time I've ever encountered or experienced a relationship with someone that was younger than me. So this was quite different for me.
And how is it going?
It's going great. I mean, we get along pretty well.
And how long have you been married?
We've been married 10 years.
Okay. And then you say it's going, I heard you say, well, it's going pretty well. Are there times where it doesn't go well?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I say this all the time. Every day he pisses me off, but every day he also makes me laugh.
Oh, so every day he pisses you off and then he makes you laugh.
So
what is
Passion.
before I move on, what is the last thing he did that pissed you off?
Oh gosh. Well, I know it's still early. He hasn't pissed me off yet, but
Or yesterday or recently?
He was on his phone too much, and it was pissing me off because he wasn't paying attention to me.
Oh, and then he made you laugh.
Of course, yeah.
Oh.
Then he showed me what he was watching, and I laughed.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
MJ, the funny part about this story is, Red, you were 41 when you married a 28-year-old. I mean, you're 10 years in now.
Yeah.
So at the time of how do you get along with his mother? How old is his mother?
Well, his mother's really not much younger than I am, and we get along great. Fortunately, she doesn't live in the same state as me, so that might help out.
There you go. You don't see him much. Keep the in-laws at a distance.
I'll watch her
Hey,
for you,
all right,
Mom.
Red, thanks for the call. Liz is in Hudson. Liz, on the age gap deal, what do you want to say?
I met my husband when I was 21 and he was 34, and we just celebrated our 18th anniversary.
Oh, good for you.
All right. And has he aged a lot, or is he keeping in good?
He looks younger than he is, and you know, it's been going good. I don't think age is just a number, especially like when a girl is 21 and you look at other 21-year-old guys and their maturity level is just, you know, at a 16-year-old's level.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, it's a fact that girls mature quicker and are more mature typically at the same age than a guy is. And then what brought this whole thing up, if you're just tuning in, folks, we're just talking about Dane Cook, the comedian and actor. Dane Cook is 50, and he's engaged to a 23-year-old. So that's what started this whole thing. Liz, thanks for the call. Let's grab Amanda in St. Petersburg. Amanda, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We are well, Amanda. Go ahead.
I am 40 and my husband is 60. So I think age has no limit.
You're 40. That's a 20-year gap. Not as big as the 27-year-old gap, but still. And no issues on the age gap.
No issues at all. He looks younger than what his age.
Excellent. I'm happy
He was
that
in the
you're...
military for 22 years.
Oh, he's in the military? Well, thank you for his service. We appreciate it. Amanda, thanks for the call. Let's grab Stephen in Gibsonton. Stephen, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Age gap, what do you say?
Yep, so 8 years difference, not too bad, but my wife is older than myself, and I met her when I was 19. She was 27.
Whoa, you were 19, she was 27. How'd you meet?
We met at the Dallas Bowl line dancing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. And 8-year gap, and how long have you been married now?
14 years in December.
Good for you.
I gotta say, I don't think that's that dramatic.
What, 8
8
years?
years either way.
You know,
That's not like shocking.
But that is not common. You know, it's more common for the guy to be 8 years older than the woman. It's not common for the woman to be 8 years older than the guy.
But I do know some women who are in those relationships with the younger guy, and they're super happy.
I'm sure they are. All right. Hey, Steve.
I can't really use the line. I would like to have met her sooner. So.
No, you can't. You might have met her if she was like your teacher or something.
Right. And I technically just met her like a couple years after I graduated high school.
Yeah, if you would have met her sooner, it might have been a big old case of SR. All right, thanks for the call, Stephen. Appreciate it. All right, let me grab Philip in Tampa. Philip, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning there, MJ.
Hey, Philip, go ahead on the age gap situation.
A little story. I had a friend in high school.
Little story about Jack and Diane?
But she just she started exotic dancing off of a strip club off of West Shore.
Whoa. Hey, hang on. Let's start again, please.
I didn't see that coming.
Hold on. Philip, what did you just say? Start again, please.
Well, we had just graduated out of high school, and this friend, she decided to start exotic dancing at a strip club off of West Shore. And I guess it ended up being, I don't know if it's the owner. He owned a couple of the strip clubs, but I don't know if he owned that specific one that she was dancing at. And he ended up marrying her. He was around.
All right, so wait a minute. Your friend got a job at a strip club right out of high school, so that would be like 18 or 19 years old.
18, 19, yep.
Okay,
exactly.
And then what high school was it?
It was Robinson down in South Tampa.
Down in Robinson High School. All right, so how long ago was this? How long did she start dancing right out of high school?
I wouldn't go into saying that because then if they're listening, they will figure out who is spilling this information right now. So,
Philip
I won't say how long ago was it.
Now,
all right. Well, your name obviously has nothing to do with it. All right, so
Philip, after they get married, does she still dance?
Well, hold on. She's 18 or 19, and how old was the guy?
He was around 62, 63.
Oh my God! All right, now that's starting to knock on like what? On like 40 years.
That's grandfather country.
That's knocking on a 40-year age. Now, are they still married?
Yeah, the last I checked, they got.
Or is he dead? Is he like?
Yeah, right.
Hold on, you were just about to say the last you checked. What?
They got married. They've been married now for a good X amount of years, and they just moved out of state.
They just moved out of state?
They moved out of state about a good 5 years ago.
Oh my God! So how old is she now?
Well, I can't. I won't say her age either because that would add up to.
I thought I'd trick him. I thought I was going to trick him. All right. All right, Phil. Thanks for the call, man. 40 years. So the strip club owner going after the 18-year-old dancer. And they're still married?
I don't know who I'm happier for in that scenario.
All right, let me just grab a couple more calls here. And, man, phones exploded. Andrea's in Winter Haven. Andrea, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. We're talking about crazy age gaps between men and women. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning. I just had a comment. It's a different spin on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But people, if they see a couple like that, they might assume things. And I'm going to tell you a story about when I was like 16 years old. I had accompanied my grandmother and grandfather to an appointment that he had. Well, my grandmother got my grandfather out of the car, and she was like, well, I'm going to go park my vehicle. You just wait here, go on inside and everything. Well, when I went inside, like the nurses kind of saw us, and they were kind of giggling around. And when my grandma came in, the nurses were like, oh, my God, we thought she was his wife. And my grandma was like, no, I'm his wife. It was so embarrassing for me as a 16-year-old that they thought that that was my husband.
Oh, my God. Were you like a mature-looking 16-year-old, though?
I mean, I think I look like an average 16-year-old, but they just assumed that that was my husband. And I was like, no, that's my grandfather.
Oh, my God. What the hell are they seeing over this place? All right.
I don't know, but people might assume things.
All right. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, Andrew, I'm just going to finish up these calls, and we got to move on. Alan, Spring Hill. Alan, MJ Morning Show, you're on. Hi.
Yeah.
Alan, your door is ajar.
You what?
All right.
All right, go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. I just called in. My wife is actually 18 years older than me.
Your wife is 18 years older. What was that like?
Oh, it's been a wonderful life. We've been married for 34 years.
Oh, congratulations.
So how old were each of you when you got married?
Well, I was 32, so do the math.
Yeah, she was 50.
Wow, incredible. Alan, thanks for the call. Bruce is next. Bruce, you're on the MJ. Hang on a sec. I picked up a line that was ringing. Bruce on 3. Bruce, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, morning, MJ. Awesome show, dude.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you listening.
It all started when my daughter was 16. She started introducing me to boys that were like 18 to 23, and I freaked out on her. Well, now she turned 18. I couldn't do nothing about it. But she's now 25, and the highest she's dated has been 24 years older than her.
Oh, my God. And as a dad, I would freak out. I would not be comfortable. If my daughter, Chloe, who is 21, started dating a guy that was like 45 or 46 and only a little younger than me, that would freak me the freak out.
Dude, you wouldn't. Call me when it happens to you. I'll let you know the true facts.
All right, we'll save your number, Bruce.
All right, man. You have a good day, and thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for listening.
Hey, MJ, what if Chloe met like a knight or a baron, like a, just some fancy person over there and in Scotland, and came home and introduced you to him, and he's your age, but a great guy, like a super great guy.
A baron. All right, let me grab 2 more. Angela in Plant City. Angela, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi. So I have kind of 2 stories. One, my dad is 91, and
Hold on, your dad is 91 and
his wife is 55.
Holy.
He's younger than my oldest sister.
Okay, I'm trying to listen to the tone in your voice. Do you like your stepmom?
She's very nice. My dad has always dated or been with younger women. Obviously, this is like the biggest stretch, but she's very nice, and I respect anybody who is willing to put up with my dad. But also, one of my good friends, his brother was married to someone who was 25 years older. His brother unfortunately passed away, and then he kind of took his brother's place, and his ex-sister-in-law, now kind of girlfriend, is like 80, and he's 50.
Oh, is she loaded? Does she have a lot of money?
She does have a lot of money.
Well, bingo, there you go.
Well, yeah, but he also does very well for himself, so it's kind of weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, 50 and 80. That's 80-year-old woman, 50-year-old. I'm sorry, that's a little interesting story there.
It's gross.
Did you say it's gross?
It's very gross. Yeah, she looks like the crypt keeper.
He looks like the crypt keeper?
It's your dad. She does.
Oh, I'm sorry. She looks like the crypt keeper.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, Angela, thanks. All right, final call on this. Charlie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Charlie.
How you doing this morning? I listen to you up in Tupelo, Mississippi when I'm there, and I'm in Lakeland part-time.
Hi, man. Thanks.
I had an age-appropriate marriage. She was 6 years younger than me. I got divorced at 55 and retired and had a couple of businesses up around Tupelo, Mississippi. And I kind of agree with what Roxanne says. It kind of gets to the point where after about 25 or 30, the age difference is not quite as bad as it is when you're in their teens and things like that. But the problem is when you listen to music or you talk about current events that you were alive when they didn't even know about, and things like that, that's where it starts getting to be a problem.
And
I think,
that's a great point you brought up.
And I think the other thing, too, is the 2 ladies that I dated that were 30 years younger than me, and my wife now is 22 years younger than me, none of them have fathers in the home. So I think what they do is they look for...
it's the whole daddy thing. What is that? That's called the Electra complex, isn't it? You have the Oedipus complex for guys on women.
Yes,
That's Oedipus.
is mommy
and then,
son issues.
Then Electra is daughter daddy, right?
I didn't know I never heard
Yeah.
Electra. That's
Electra
interesting.
complex, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I just heard daddy issues.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Charlie.
That
Daddy
basically
issues.
happens is I think they're looking for resources that they haven't had because they didn't have a father at home, and it's really tough.
Or they want to replace
with
their
the,
father.
with the cultural gap.
Yeah, Charlie, thanks for the
Yes.
call. Good stuff, man. And look at Fester. Fester has been, this whole time, Fester is creeping through Dane Cook's 23-year-old fiance's Facebook page and creeping on all of the pictures in her in bikinis and tight jeans. Dude,
There's no
you are
creeping here.
you are lurking.
There's
For the
no-
last 20 minutes, you're going through years of her Facebook page and you're oogling and looking at her pictures.
First of all, it's not years. I'm only back to March of 2019.
Well, that would be years.
It's not like decades.
This whole time, Fester's scrolling through Dane Cook's 23-year-old fiance's Facebook.
This is all stuff she publicly posted. It's nothing's too
I
crazy.
have
Fine,
gotten
but you're
some
like, you're like a
messages.
creepy old. What do you have?
Yes, that Dane, actually, this is a pattern of his, and he was always trying to bring young girls around his shows and stuff.
Oh,
from
really?
the Insider. But listen, that last caller made such a great point because I think of some of my younger girlfriends and their older husbands, and when we play music from the husband's era, and the girls have to listen to it, I'm like, no way do you even like this music. You have to hate this music. It must sound like old person music to you.
And now the sounds of Benny Goodman from the Shenandoah room. And the phone number at the hotel is Transylvania 65000.
The girlfriends want to listen to oldies and it's like too legit to quit.
Listen, one more thing.
All right,
to
one
end
more
this.
thing.
Okay.
One more.
MJ.
Yes.
What if Chloe came home
Yes.
and instead of, Dad, I want you to meet John Bon Jovi's son, it was, Dad, I'm dating John Bon Jovi. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
No. And the reference there is that Chloe is friends with Jake Bon Jovi, John's son. All right. So speaking of dating, man, this is a Tinder date gone bad. You want to talk about a bad Tinder date? Woman duct taped and slashed naked Tinder date and then just ordered food from DoorDash.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so did I. This happened out in Colorado, and a woman has been arrested. She allegedly duct taped her naked Tinder date, choked the guy, then slashed the guy with a knife, and then said, "Hey, I'm hungry. Got to DoorDash it."
Gosh.
Yeah, the old slash and dash.
Lauren Marie Dooley, 22 years old, was hit with a whole chunk of multiple felony charges last week. This bizarre attack on her 21-year-old date inside this apartment in the Springs, out in Colorado Springs. The affidavit was just released by the police. Dooley's accused of enticing her date, whom she'd only just met on the Tinder dating app. So entice the guy to remove his clothes before allegedly performing a sex act on the couch, according to WKRC television. She then allegedly used duct tape to bind his feet and hands. The victim agreed to this. The victim found it odd, but consented. But then things took a really bad turn when Dooley brought out a kitchen knife and demanded that he go into the bedroom. So if he's duct taped, was he like...
You have to hop along.
Was he hopping?
Yes. Bound at the wrists and ankles, I would imagine.
By the way, that was some excellent hopping I just
really
did,
was.
which you could see on MJTV if you're watching live or watch it later on. So the guy hops into the bedroom, fearing that Lauren would harm him with the knife. He obeyed his orders, got into bed. Lauren then climbed on top of him and proceeded to use the knife to cut his left shoulder. What kind of a freaky 22-year-old is this? She then allegedly choked him repeatedly and checked his neck for a pulse.
So she's trying to kill this guy?
What is going on, man?
Trying to take him as far as he can go before he kicks the bucket?
Hey, dude, you should have swiped the other way on this one.
No kidding.
Yeah. How does I've never been on Tinder. How does that work?
One direction is you like them, and one
swipe left,
direction,
swipe right.
yeah,
I have
don't
no
know.
idea which is
You
which.
should have swiped the other way, whatever it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Have we talked yet about what this girl looks like?
Yeah, she's cute.
You know, she looks like she's 10 years old. I mean,
I don't think. No,
Okay.
she looks like she's
Looks like
20.
she's 20,
I don't think she
22.
looks like she's
22.
10.
really young to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe-
Mugshots make
I
you
mean,
look a little younger.
I know she is an adult, but I'm just saying, like,
You know
you
what?
would never.
You know what? I rescind my cute comment. I don't think she's that. I'm looking at the mugshot again. And I don't think
All right,
she's that
first
cute.
of all, mugshots aren't the most flattering shots.
No.
Second of all, you know she duct taped the guy and sliced his shoulder off and choked him with a belt. So
All right. Lauren then used both her hands to apply direct pressure to the victim's throat for like 20 seconds, making it difficult for the guy to breathe, but only to procure a belt that she then placed around the guy's neck. She tightened the belt for another 20 seconds. Does this make you want to jump onto Tinder?
Yeah,
and go pick up people?
And just a Tinder dating tip.
Does this want to make you like go to some anonymous person's house who you don't know that you just met on Tinder?
all right, you're leaving out the best parts of this whole story.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
I've
Hold
got
on.
more questions, and none of it has to do with this.
I have more. I'm not done with the story.
Okay.
Yes, Rox.
Tinder dating tip. If your Tinder date asks you if you want to do a little role play and get tied up on the first date,
Say
give it a
yes.
no. Give it a pass because it's too good to be true.
What?
So if you want to get duct taped, if you're asked on the first date,
Yeah.
maybe you should move on.
Yeah, just maybe move on, or maybe
Just
wait till the second date to see if you can really trust them. for
Swipe
that
yourself
kind of stuff.
right out of the apartment.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
It's not necessarily from firsthand experience, is it, Rock?
All right, so then she tightened the belt for the guy around the guy's neck for like 20 seconds after trying to choke the guy for 20 seconds with her hands, took the belt off, checked for a pulse, then allegedly then proceeded to order takeout from DoorDash and threatened to kill her date if he tried to scream when the delivery driver showed up at the front door with the DoorDash.
Again, the most important question isn't addressed.
The victim told the cops that Dooley ate her DoorDash delivery, which I would like to know what she ordered.
That's the question.
Right. So if you're in the middle of choking a guy with your hands, belt, stabbing him in the shoulder, what do you order? What kind of food did you order? What were you hungry for?
Maybe some Panda Express or something? That sounds pretty good right about now. Get some
All right.
orange chicken.
Then he was able to escape, alerted police after she fell asleep behind him, or beside him, rather. So he got out, called the cops. Responding officers encountered the naked victim standing in the parking lot of the apartment complex. He's just standing there naked. Dooley was subsequently charged with second-degree kidnapping, second-degree assault, and menacing. And she had a court appearance yesterday. So I'm guessing that things didn't work out very well for her. I don't see an update on the story.
Yeah, her defense is going to be he didn't use the safe word.
All right. So with the exception
Hey,
of...
Roxanne, what is your safe word with Dig Dug?
It's not like that.
There's no safe word. Everything's open.
What were we going to say, Fester?
You know, with the exception of ordering DoorDash, this is eerily similar to like the first two episodes of the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Are you serious?
Well, he would bring people into his apartment for sex.
He'd meet guys.
He'd bound them. He pulls out a knife. He'd never ordered DoorDash because it just wasn't around back then.
Everyone's talking about that Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix.
He didn't need to order DoorDash. He had his lunch there.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
It was Couch Dash.
Thank
He just
you,
ate the
Andrew.
guy that was on his couch.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Well, let's
Were you
not-
laughing at a serial killer joke? What's wrong with
I
you?
mean, it's not funny. It's a little funny. Maybe not that funny.
Unbelievable. All right. I've got to text a couple of folks right now. I'm going to do a group text. Or should I do individually?
Well, who are you texting and what is it about?
I need to text number one, Dennis Phillips, the chief meteorologist at ABC Action News. And I need to text another friend of mine, Paul Delgado. Paul is the chief meteorologist at Fox 13. So I want to send a text to Dennis Phillips and Paul Delgado. Now, do you think it's inappropriate for me to like group text them, or should I text them individually?
You know what? Is there meteorologist beef?
No, I
No,
think
I
they're
don't. No,
cool.
I don't think. No, I think they're all cool together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And the question I have, you're not asking the important question. Like, well, what's your question? What do you need to text Paul Delgado and Dennis Phillips?
Well, I assume it's something weather related.
Yes.
Since that's what they share in common.
All right. Here's the deal. Let's see if you guys were paying attention. How many gallons of gasoline do I have in my garage with my preparation for Hurricane Ian, which did not come here, thank God.
You have 41?
That is correct, dude. Really?
41. I remember you took a picture. You had like 8 5-gallon jugs and then like a little jug.
I had one little. I have a bunch of. So I have 8 5-gallons. So 8 times 5 is 40, and then I have one little red 1-gallon. So I got 41 gallons of gasoline in my garage to use for my generator if, in fact, we lost power, and we didn't. So here's the deal. I've got 41 gallons of gas in my garage. We're sitting here at October the 7th, and we had 2 storms. One is curling up into the Atlantic. The other system is going to stay way south.
It's going to hit Mexico.
It's going to hit Central America probably.
It's going to be named Julia.
Is that what it is? That's the next one? So Hij, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So J, and my question is, hey, Paul Delgado, hey, Dennis Phillips. Hey, listen, I'm friends with Steve Jervy also. He's retired from Channel 8. Maybe I'll include him. I'll do a big 3-way text. Now, if you asked me to name a weather guy at Channel 10 for $1 million, I couldn't do it. Dick Fletcher.
No. Chuck Deskins.
All right, yeah.
No, Bobby Deskins.
Yeah.
Bobby Deskins is at Channel 10.
Rich Fields is at Channel 10. For real.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Rich Fields. Yeah, I've never met him. Anyway, so my question for Paul Delgado, Dennis Phillips, Steve Jervy would be, can I start pouring the 41 gallons of gasoline into our car? It's October the 7th. 2 systems are not heading our way. And listen, I am wrought with, I think, a degree of survivor's guilt or something similar in the fact that we were again preparing for a direct hit from this hurricane, and it turned in south of us again into Punta Gorda and into Southwest Florida. So listen, it still makes me sad for all of our friends down south. But my question is, I've got 41 gallons of gas. Can I start pouring this gas now in my car? Because I don't want the gas to expire.
What? MJ, gas doesn't expire.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It
Yes,
seems
it
like
does.
something that would have a shelf life.
Yes,
gas
it does.
doesn't have an expiration date.
Yes, it does.
It's not milk. You don't have 41 gallons of milk in your garage. No, it's
gas expires.
You can keep it in the gas tank.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Listen to me. Gas expires.
When? Like in 10 years?
No, gas degrades. If you have gas in a car or one of the plastic gas cans or a metal gas can, no, gas, you're only supposed to keep gas for I think 6 months. Yes, gas expires. That's my whole question here. I've got 41 gallons of gas in my garage.
I've never heard that
Hey,
before.
Paul Delgado, Dennis Phillips, Steve Jervy. Who's the news guy at Channel 8? He was at Bay News 9. Jeff Girardelli. Is that the Berardelli?
Berardelli,
What
yes.
Girardelli's the
chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah. I'm sorry.
San Francisco chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, dude, gas expires.
Hold on.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Hold on one sec. Hang on one sec. So, did you just type in?
Oh, shut up. This is the first ever. Regular gasoline has a shelf life of 3 to 6 months.
Duh!
Diesel can last up to a year before it begins to degrade.
All right, so Fester just Googled, does gasoline expire? And it does. What do you think? I'm making it up?
Is that why you have to put that stable in a car
Now-
that you're not running for a long time?
Now, you can do an additive. You can add an additive to gas, which will keep gas longer. But yeah, if you've got gas in a can, you want to use it. That's why I've got 41 gallons of gas. I want to know, can I start pouring it into instead of going to the gas station, I've got 8 containers of 5 gallons of gas for the generator. The question is, are we kind of in the clear? Are we out of the woods for the hurricane season? can I start using the gas in the car? Because Fester, gas expires.
All right, first of all, hold on. I'm sorry. Hurricane season is 2 more months.
It is. So
you're within the window of unexpired gas if you keep it.
I get it, but I'm not really comfortable with 41 gallons of gasoline hanging around in my garage, all right?
A couple questions for you. I
Yes.
understand if milk expires and I drink it, I'm probably going to throw up or have stomach issues. What happens if you use expired gasoline?
The property of the gasoline, it degrades.
Okay,
So
so
the
then
efficacy, the octane, the gasoline, there's some evaporation. Just the gas, it gets stale and old, and it can foul up engines.
Gotcha.
So you're not supposed to use gas that did I say 6 months? So
3 to 6 months is what it says online.
I said 6 months, and then Fester does a search because Fester thinks I'm lying. So Fester's got to go behind my back.
I don't think you're lying. I'm not trying to go behind your back. I just thought you were mistaken.
Well, I believe
Okay.
you.
Which you apparently were not. You were actually dead
I
on
was
correct.
Guess what? You know what?
What?
I think people will find that I'm pretty much correct about most of the crap that flies out of my face.
All right, first of all,
Okay,
hold
smarty
on.
pants.
You're the one that wants to bother every weatherman in town asking them if you should get rid of your fuel.
Now, here's my other question.
Yes.
As soon as that came out of your mouth, I was like, that makes perfect sense. I'm sure it does expire.
Right.
And MJ's so smart, and most of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is correct. I also thought that. No, I did not. And then my next question is, I've had a can of gasoline on my persons in the garage for a while now.
Hold on, you've got a can of gasoline on your persons?
Okay, in your garage is
In
not
my garage.
on your persons. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you're dousing somebody with that gas.
A Ziploc bag in her purse. That's on your persons.
So what do I do with this expired gasoline?
You light a bonfire in your backyard like those deputies up in Bay County.
No.
It's a good question. What do you
What
do
do
with
you
it?
do with expired
How long has the
gasoline?
gas been in the can?
I don't know.
Like
It's been-
years?
It's quite some time.
Is it like,
There's always that extra.
a gallon or 2 gallons?
It's probably a gallon.
You know what? Almost fill up your car and just throw it in the car. It'll burn out. It'll dilute.
I'm not going to put it in my car. He just said that's what happens. It's
Yeah.
bad for the engine.
I'll bring the Lincoln by. and put it
Andrew,
there.
Andrew, our
Problem
producer,
solved.
wants to weigh in. Yes, Andrew.
Yeah, you drive a BMW. Does that require high test?
I think it's recommended.
So hold on.
But I've put both in the car. I can tell zero difference. So I've put regular and I've put the high octane in. I can tell zero performance difference in the vehicle. So, any other questions, Andrew?
Well, since I'm guessing that those 41 gallons were regular unleaded,
Yeah,
that's why I was wondering about
Right,
that.
no, the
41
regular
gallons of the
unleaded.
cheap
Yeah, so I would have no problem filtering some of the regular gas. So also the tank might have some higher octane in there. You mix it, you blend it. It's not an issue.
I tell you, MJ, I got about, 15 miles left on my Lincoln. I can stop by after the show.
I'm not putting my gas in your Lincoln.
Why not?
Go buy your own damn gas.
19-gallon tank. I'll come by for 2 fill-ups.
Go buy your own damn gas. Hey, yeah.
Everyone's a gas expert now on the text line.
Yeah.
But one that sounds interesting is it clogs the carburetor and the engine will not start. It turns into shellac.
That makes sense. Yeah. So the gasoline degrades and it can screw with your engine. That's why you don't want to use old gas. That's why I want to use the 41 gallons that's in my garage right now and not have it sit around. Just start burning it in the car. So I got to, text my pals and see what the deal is. All right. we got an update. Remember the Southwest pilot that took his clothes off and was watching porno in the cockpit during a flight?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you're in the back of the plane and in the front of the plane on the flight deck? You almost don't want to say cockpit, when you're talking
You don't
about
want
this
to say
story.
anything. You don't want to say flight deck. You don't want to say cockpit.
No, you don't want to say even wheels up. That could mean something.
Whoa, hey.
You're now free to move your wang around the country. All right, so remember the Southwest story? This was a bizarre story. A Southwest Airlines pilot is now suing the company, her union, and a former colleague who pleaded guilty last year because he deadbolted the cockpit door during a flight. The guy stripped naked in front of her. Christine Janning alleges that Southwest retaliated by grounding her after she reported that Michael Hake had taken his clothes off and was watching porno on a screen in the cockpit.
God, wouldn't that fall under the no retaliation policy or something?
She reported it to Southwest. She reported it to the FBI. And that she says that they kept this guy employed despite this alleged history of sexual misconduct, and that managers disparaged her in memos. She also alleges that the Southwest Airlines Pilot Associations conspired with the airline and refused to support her. She is suing Hake for sexual assault. He pleaded guilty last year to a federal misdemeanor charge of committing a lewd and indecent or obscene act. He was sentenced to probation. Hake's attorney is Michael Salnick, and he said Wednesday that his client disrobed only after Janning encouraged him to. Never did anything else, and there were no previous incidents. Southwest said supporting Janning and that it would vigorously defend itself against the lawsuit, whatever.
Oh, my God. So he's in the cockpit naked, and she's looking at his 2 free carry-ons.
This is nuts. Christine Janning alleges that why would Southwest retaliate against her if the captain goes flipping bonkers and takes his clothes off and is watching pornos in a flight? Can you imagine? You're in the back of the plane, you're on a Southwest flight, or really any airline. It could be Delta, American, United, whatever. And you got a naked pilot watching porn up in the front of the plane? My God.
I mean, if it's on autopilot, I guess it really doesn't affect my experience. You start hitting some turbulence.
I just don't know why they would retaliate against the female pilot.
There must be more to this story, but it all sounds very strange.
According to the lawsuit filed last week in Orange County, Florida, that's right here in Central Florida, in Orlando area, Janning had never met this pilot Hake before when the incident happened August of 2020, when she said she was his co-pilot on a flight from Philadelphia to Orlando. She says Hake, a 27-year veteran of the airline, had used his seniority rights the previous day to bump another pilot who had been scheduled to command the flight. Janning believes that that's because he saw a woman was scheduled as the co-pilot on that flight. Oh, man, I'm going to find a female co-pilot, so up at 36,000 feet, I can go ahead and take off my drawers, lock the door, and watch porn.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in that cockpit. Kind of tight space.
Especially a 737.
Yeah, like the disrobe.
Yeah,
and what's the factor in the cockpit that's getting you in the mood to go?
Oh, and so many things. 1, the uniform.
The name.
2.
Yeah.
You got the vibrating stick.
I guess it's just
more than you thought.
Aphrodisiacs all around you.
You got a
in that
stick
confined
shaker.
Space, yeah.
So hey, if the aircraft's about to stall, or if it's called a stick shaker. That the actual on Boeings you've got the yoke in front of you versus a little side dealie on the Airbus, but you got a stick shaker. You got a stick shaker, and that stick vibrates when there's like something really wrong with the airplane.
Roxanne, if you want a bag of pretzels, you talk to the flight attendant. You want a bag of nuts.
I mean, but
talk
I'm
to
just
the captain.
You know what's in my head right now? You're a heartbreaker, stick shaker.
Dream maker, don't you mess around with me. You're a stick shaker. Really? And guys. Speaking of airplanes, Roxanne yesterday, and you probably thought I forgot about this.
I was hoping.
So this is actually a perfect segue. Yesterday, during the show, we're in a break. So we went to a commercial break, or we're playing, a song or something. And Roxanne just out of the blue says, "Hey, when you're on the Veterans Expressway, or you're on,
or you're coming over the Howard Franklin Bridge, going into Tampa or leaving Tampa right by the airport."
So Roxanne says to me, when an airplane is flying over your car, do you slow down so it's not right over your car?
No. You must have misheard me, because I said, do you try to get exactly under it?
You said both. You said...
Okay, which do you do?
Yeah, you said, what do you do? You said, do you slow down so the airplane does not go right over your car? Or do you speed up so the airplane is right on top of your car? Because it's not as much the Howard Franklin. They're still at a higher altitude over the Howard Franklin. So if the planes are landing on one left, so if the planes are more over the bay and over the Howard Franklin, if planes are coming from the south landing to the north at Tampa International, that is runway 1 left, where most of the traffic typically is. And if you're on the that's not technically the Veterans there.
It's not. It's merging into I-70.
So you come off of Kennedy and you get onto, what is that, like Memorial, right?
Yeah.
It's Memorial. And then as you go around the airport, you have those planes that are on approach. And the planes are pretty much right over your car as they're getting ready to land on 1 left at Tampa International. So what do? You obviously asked me this for a question, or because you're curious. Are you freaked out by the airplanes that are going right over your car?
No, opposite.
So you speed up so the airplane can be on top of you?
Now listen, I don't want any safety nuts to freak out on me and say that I'm messing up traffic by speeding up or slowing down. I've been doing this my whole life. So I actually gauge it, when I see
You've got an airplane landing fetish?
Yes, my dad introduced me to that because we'd even pull over on the side of the road and just have the planes fly over us, and just right
Hold
where
on,
they
you
fly.
would stop your car on Memorial?
I don't know where it was. I was a little kid.
So Hillsborough Avenue is where you do that. If you wanted to stop and get when they come from the north going south into the airport,
right? So if they're landing on 19 right,
okay, so
that would be 19 right, or actually 19 left, because both the parallel runways. You got by the bowling alley over there. So I guess if you're on Hillsborough, you have access to be near the planes at both runways. Yeah,
next to the bowling alley is that big grass field that the planes line up to on approach.
Yeah, what about Bob's Carpet Mart? Isn't that over there somewhere as well?
It's a little further down.
Okay,
all right. But you can get really close to, I think that's as low as you can get to the planes landing at TIA.
Okay, right there. Yeah, no, I'm talking about when I come into work.
Is this like for you? Is this like I don't know, Marilyn Monroe getting her skirt blown up on the subway? Great. What is going on here? What?
That's exactly what it is.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's in the same category as liking to watch a fleet of Tampa Electric bucket trucks go by. Maybe it's in that category. Maybe I have a machinery thing.
Roxanne, you've got some weird turn-ons.
No, I didn't say it was a turn-on. I said it was just, I enjoy it. So if I'm, and it just struck me the other day as I was driving in, I was like, oh, there's a plane coming. Okay, I'm going to just speed up 5 miles an hour. I see it coming from way back, so it gives me time to make I know exactly how fast I have to go to get under it. And then I roll my window down, and then when I hear the noise and I see the plane's underbelly, and I like it. And then
I see the plane's underbelly, and I like it.
I like it.
And it occurred to me, wait a second, not everybody else on the road did this like I just did. So maybe this is a weird Roxanne thing and not like a thing that everybody does.
I never thought of aviation as that much of a turn on, but I'm glad it works for you.
Sounds like you need to get in the cockpit with Captain Hake.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, please.
No Mile High Club with him.
Quick break. Back in a second on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I want to talk about sex, all right? But I want to talk about stress and sex.
Okay.
And we're going to roll some money into it as well, okay? Stress, money, sex. All right, hold on. I'll make it all make sense coming up in a second. Oh, and Fester, you've got a bathroom door knock question.
Yeah.
All right, Fester is going to bring some bathroom humor into the equation here because there's a bathroom knocking story that we need to get into. All right, so stand by. All right, 8:45. It's the MJ Morning Show. We're back in just a second. Stand by. MJ Morning Show, Q105. MJ here with Fester and Roxanne. And, I'm about to get into money, sex, stress. First, though, Roxanne, what the heck did you just say during that Fleetwood Mac song about your hair?
I wanted a consensus in the room.
So what did you say? I'm still trying to process what you're getting your hair done, and you want our advice on what you should do to your hair. What did you just say?
I just want an around the room vote. Do you want chunky ribbon highlights or do you want slut streaks? Which should I get?
I voted already.
Hang on a sec. All right. Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, it's hair talk. It's highlight talk.
You're getting highlights in your hair, and you want to know if...
Usually I get slut streaks. But I've been looking at pictures of chunky ribbons, and I think I'm leaning more towards chunky ribbons.
Hold on. Michelle just had her hair done on Wednesday.
Okay, did she get highlights or did she do color? Because it's a different lingo.
I don't know what she does. It just looks good. I just know that.
Good answer.
Hello?
Hello, my sweetie.
Yes.
Did I tell you how much I'm looking forward to spending the weekend with you?
Well, you just did.
Well, thank you. Would you join me for a dinner date tonight?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I'll figure out where to go. Dinner. So let's do dinner date tonight. So Friday, Saturday night dinner date. Are you on board?
Sure.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, Roxanne, go ahead. Michelle, are you listening to the show?
Yes.
All right. Did you hear what Roxanne just said about her hair and what she should have done to her hair? The two options?
Chunky streaks or blood streaks.
What did you say? Say it again.
Slut streaks or chunky ribbons.
All right, Michelle, when it comes to hair, and these are highlights?
Highlights,
All
yeah.
right, Michelle, have you ever heard of chunky ribbons or slut streaks when it comes to hair?
Oh, I've never heard that description.
It's just to describe the thickness of them and the way that they're spread out.
Is this in your little kooky head over
no,
there?
No, it's
or
not
is
my
this...
kooky head. This is a fashion magazine. Why don't you read some Vogue?
You're telling me in Vogue they talk about slut streaks and freaky ribbons?
Let me go to the website.
Okay. I mean, the
Fessa, can
chunky
you look up and
ribbons-
see if this nomenclature is anywhere but Roxanne's head?
Slut
streaks.
Okay, you'll find slut streaks in the Urban Dictionary.
Slut
is where you'll find those. But to put chunky ribbons is a term being coined this season because that's coming in. It's in fashion.
Chunky,
Yes.
this season. This is a new term for 2022.
I mean, I'm sure it's been in season in the past, but so in other words, if I went with a slut streak, then that's going to be a little bit more what I'm used to and what I've done in the past.
Okay,
but a chunky ribbon is more on with the current trends.
A synonym for slut streak is
Urban
slut stripe.
Dictionary has slut stripes.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's a cosmetology jargon. You're right.
Yeah.
And it's,
It reads cosmetology jargon for highlighted hair in which several locks of hair are colored in such an unnatural way that they clash with the
Well-
natural hair color of the owner, such as bright blonde on top of natural dark blonde.
Okay,
The
I don't really do
finished
that.
streak makes the woman look really easy.
yeah, that's a good look for you.
Typically,
That's a good look.
that's what it says. The result makes the woman look very easy. Typically, the woman that undergoes this procedure definitely is promiscuous.
Okay, so now that you're just
Oh my God, MJ,
doing my bio.
They
Okay.
go, hold on, they go down other synonyms for what slut stripes might be called. I can't even say them.
Instead of highlights, whore lights?
Oh no. Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I like whore lights better than highlights and slut streak. That's good.
My God. Roxanne, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on inside your world.
This is kind of, I mean, this makes it sound so negative, but I mean, I use it as a compliment. Like one of my girlfriends got her hair highlighted. I'm like, oh, I love her little slut streaks. It looks so pretty. I mean,
so
it's
you
not.
call your girlfriend's hair slut streaks?
Yeah, but it's more to describe the placement and the width. So you're gonna have, in the whore lights, you're gonna have more like thinner strands, and then in the chunky ribbons, as described, it's gonna have more of a ribbon appearance.
All right, Michelle,
Yes.
You don't get highlights, do you? Your hair is just
No, I don't do highlights anymore.
yeah. You did highlights a long time ago.
Yep.
So why did you stop doing highlights? Because you just had your hair done on Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Yep. I don't know, because he doesn't do highlights anymore.
Now, was that your decision or was it your hairdresser Michael's decision?
It was his decision.
And what did he say? Like you're getting too old for highlights or what?
No, we went like just a different route, and now there are no highlights.
All right, so
It's beautiful.
Michelle, do you think that Roxanne ought to get the what?
The slut streaks or chunky ribbons. And here's the thing.
No.
I haven't gotten my hair highlighted since I think I had started having kids. Like it's been a long time since I've put any color in my hair. So I feel like I don't want to make a mistake. You
MJ,
know?
here's some examples of chunky ribbons.
And listen, if you make a mistake, you just get it all shaved off like 11 in Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you
Go
do.
back and have them redo it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Fester.
I have some examples here for you of
Chunky ribbons?
Chunky ribbons.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's wider swaths of
Right.
the hair are highlighted instead of just
and more
okay.
around your face.
Gotcha. Oh, it's
That sounds kind of fun, though. Chunky ribbons.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards chunky ribbons. I like the slut streaks because they give you a little bit more volume
Tell
because
you
my
what.
hair gets dark and
Tell you,
greasy.
why don't you go to the supermarket, go to the frozen ice cream case, and just get Chunky Monkey in your hair? How about that?
Ooh, that's hot.
Just grab some Ben and Jerry's Chunky Monkey. Just open it up, grab handfuls,
that's
and just
delicious.
smear it all over your hair. Get Chunky Monkey in your head.
Could you do half and half? Like chunky streak on one side,
Chunky Monkey.
or lights on the other side.
So slut streaks on one side and then
Yeah.
the
Chunky Monkey.
Chunky Monkey
And then
on
when
the
I
other
take
side.
photos, I'm like, no, get me from this side. This is my slut streak side.
Hey, Michelle, before I let you go, Michelle, any request for the type of cuisine for Friday date night tonight?
Italian.
Okay. Well,
All right.
there are a bunch of good options in town. All right.
I'll be over around 7:30.
All right. Oh, you know what?
What?
I need to call. You know what? Let's maybe go to Paolo tonight. Paolo is Cafe Paradiso.
Yeah.
And, Paolo lost power during Ian. So Cafe Paradiso, listen, I'm friends with a bunch of Italian restaurants in town. Yeah, we were just talking about Luigi the other day. Massimo, Olivia's great, and Rocca is. We have a lot of good places.
Let's not forget like Marco's Pizza.
You got Donatello.
We got Domino's.
There's a lot of good stuff
You
in
got
town.
Fazoli's.
But listen, Paolo, who is the longtime owner of Cafe Paradiso, they lost power, and they were closed for I think 4 or 5 days. And I spoke to Paolo. They had to throw away like $12,000 in food.
That sucks.
It does. So maybe because of that, let's go maybe patronize Paolo at Cafe Paradiso tonight in South Tampa on MacDill.
It all sounds delicious to me.
All right, let me call Paolo and see if he's back. All right.
All right.
All right, sweetie.
Bye.
All right. So, how the heck do we turn Roxanne's hair into 10 minutes?
I mean, I didn't know there were that many different obscene names for hairstyles.
Oh, there are more than what we just
Offensive.
right.
Roxanne, you've got a way of derailing me, and it's not always in a bad way. I mean, it's
Well,
but I mean that was pretty interesting actually.
we'll discuss it on Wednesday when I return. You'll see what it is.
All right. So I'll be able to determine whether you're getting the
yeah, on
what do you-
Wednesday I'll say, guys, look at my hair. Nobody pays
Okay.
attention to me or looks at me, but I'll say, look at my hair. What do you think I did?
Roxanne, for me to weigh in on what you should do to yourself, that is creepy.
I just say
I'm not gonna weigh in on your looks or what you should do.
No, she was taking votes. I mean, I voted.
Hey Roxanne,
you.
hey Roxanne, can you wear that tight dress again this week? You know the one you wore, like the dress you wore on August 23rd. Can you wear that same one again?
Yeah, that would be creepy. I'm not, MJ. I know you're not really going to weigh in. I do it more. I know Fester will weigh in. So thank you, Fester. But I do it.
Yeah, Fester weighs
for
in at
you.
356.
Yeah, she's like, what should I get? Ribbons or streaks? I'm like, streaks.
Fester's weighing in on
Yeah.
The Biggest Loser on NBC.
Oh, I wish.
All right, so I got to move on here. Paycheck, money, sex, stress. Yes.
I think I have an idea about what you're saying. Okay, go ahead. I have an idea.
What do you think I'm saying?
Paycheck, money, stress, sex. Okay, this is what this all makes me think of. Whenever someone loses a job and you're talking to this person and they're down in the dumps and they feel bad because they lost their job, I always say to them, well, get ready. You're about to have sex all the time Because there's nothing else to do when you're unemployed.
No. No.
I know that my wife found unemployment very attractive.
You got no stress, no. You're not tired. You have nothing else to do.
You've never been unemployed for any length of time, have you?
Here is the deal. Americans, according to a survey, new poll, 2,000 surveyed. Top 5 answers on the board. Actually, the top 5 answers aren't on the board, but here's the deal. A poll, 2,000 Americans would give up a paycheck and sex if it meant being stress-free. 3 in 4 Americans would do nearly anything to have a single stress-free day, and that includes giving up sex and money, your paycheck, in order to be stress-free.
Okay, clearly the people who took the survey and answered in that accord didn't think this out properly, because you get stressed out and then you have sex or spend money to alleviate that stress, right?
Different strokes, I guess.
A new poll of 2,000 Americans revealed 1 in 10 can't even remember the last time they had a stress-free day.
So how long is this stress-free period? I mean, I don't need a stress-free day and lose a paycheck over it.
When people feel stressed out, they avoid necessary tasks like doing laundry, vacuuming, cleaning their homes. Many said that they would pass on a week's worth of productivity, an entire paycheck, or even sex if it mean that they could have a stressless day. Just one stress-free day.
So no sex all week and you have a stress-free Sunday. Okay.
And your car gets repossessed. You got no money. The kids are going hungry.
You're not doing it with anybody.
Yeah, that's a pretty flat life, no ups and downs there, no roller coaster.
I don't know.
Thought that was pretty interesting. All right, we've got to talk about something that we mentioned in the very beginning of the show. Now, I would love to think that there are tons of people that were listening at 6 a.m. this morning that are still listening here at 9:05. That's if I can get people to listen to the entire show. Well, first of all, what you miss. If you don't listen to the whole show every day, you're missing a lot of stuff.
Well, think about all the podcast listeners, because I know people, that listen to it start to finish.
Now, we mentioned this the first thing today out of the gate, or virtually, and I just thought that this was just uncanny. I thought that it was just I saw the story last night. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And it has to do with Giselle and Tom Brady. And Roxanne, you made a mention that I wonder if Giselle is going to do the sage smudging all over the house to cleanse all the bad Tom Brady energy that she apparently is trying to expunge. And you said that on the show yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Because Roxanne's into all this weird stuff. And Roxanne will get sage all wrapped up into some kind of a ritualistic Santeria looking thing.
Okay,
and you'll light it on fire, and then you walk through your house with this bundled sage to sage smudge, and walking into all the corners and all the nooks and crannies in your house and all the rooms.
Sounds like you know a lot about it.
Well, because you told us about this. I knew nothing of this until you told us this months ago that you sage smudge to cleanse the evil spirits or the bad mojo. You'll walk through your house with burning sage.
Yeah.
And you made a mention yesterday.
Meditative.
You said, I wonder if Giselle's going to do this. And, well, damn it, I'm doing prep last night, and a story pops up on the New York Post, a gossip website, that Giselle Bundchen hired some troll at a poltergeist.
No, it's a spiritual healer.
Right, whatever. And the woman literally is pictured outside, and she's holding burning sage.
Yes.
And she's sage smudging Giselle Bundchen's car to rid it of bad Tom Brady energy.
Right. So the original story that came out.
How did you know this?
I sent you the original story on Wednesday that just said Giselle's meeting with a spiritual healer and not wearing her ring. And I sent you that story, which said nothing about sage smudging. And in my attachment, my little note to you, I said, look, MJ, I bet you she is sage smudging the schnit out of her house.
Right. But then you even said it on the air.
Yes.
But Roxanne knows enough about this to know that usually goes hand in hand.
So when you hire a spiritual advisor or healer, they're going to start burning this crazy sage crap?
You know, I should look up the reason that this is done.
mean, it's in their wheelhouse of services they provide.
All right, peeps, let me tell you right now. There are exclusive photos of this spiritual advisor who is a disheveled mess. You want to talk about opposite ends of the spectrum? Tall, thin, Brazilian supermodel, formerly with Victoria's Secret angel wings, next to this other woman who looks like she was in a rummage sale explosion.
Yeah.
All right, is that a good look at what she's wearing? This woman is a fashion wreck.
It's like a blind person walked into Goodwill and just took one thing from each section and made an outfit.
Yeah, you're right.
It is crazy. And the woman is holding burning sage, walking around. Is that a Range Rover? Walking around Gisele Bundchen's vehicle.
Could be a Kia.
I don't know what it is. But anyway, she's sage smudging. And Roxanne, you called this. Because you know all the weird crap.
Yeah, okay, so I just looked it up, and I kind of knew this in the back of my head, but I wanted to be sure.
Now, should Gisele get slut streaks or chunky ribbons?
Looking at her hair, she looks like she has more like, they're wispy, so you would say they're more along the, they're very light. They're very light, so.
I mean, this is just bizarre.
Okay.
Gisele Bundchen had her car spiritually cleansed as the Tom Brady divorce apparently is looming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just looked it up. This is why people smudge sage. Some Native American.
I thought you already knew this.
No, I did kind of. I just want to verify it. Some Native American tribes would burn white sage in a practice that has become known as smudging. Today, smudging is popular and in the mainstream as well. Two main reasons: for spiritual purification and for health benefits.
The word also is Tom Brady is very, very hurt that Gisele hired a divorce attorney. That's also the word from page 6. Tom Brady's having a hard time accepting things are over, following reports that his estranged wife, Gisele Bundchen, has been talking to a divorce attorney for weeks. A source close to the NFL player said it's pretty obvious that he's hurting. He feels hurt by her. According to sources, however, while Brady seems to be holding out hope for reconciliation, it appears the supermodel is ready for a clean slate. On Thursday, Bundchen, 45, was spotted spiritually cleansing her car, which is done to get rid of any negative energy with the help of a holistic woman.
This woman was holistic, all right.
That's the lady in the rummage sale mishap explosion. We got to get these links. Are these links up? We got to get these things up so people can see what we're talking about.
Well, it's at least she hired a spiritual healer and not like a voodoo doll person. You know?
Is there a big difference?
Yes.
I mean, is there
entirely?
Is there really?
Gisele, come to the light. Gisele. I want to see Gisele implanted in a TV set. Yeah, and then Gisele, come to the light. And Gisele can emerge out of a closet or something. Isn't that what happened in Poltergeist?
Yes. Yeah. What was it?
Hey, that's why they're bulldozing the old Derek Jeter house. Now, this is folks. This is breaking news. This is a scoop. So the old Derek Jeter house where Tom Brady and Gisele lived. I'm telling you right now, the guy that bought it, he's bulldozing it because during the storm, a whole bunch of bodies popped up out of the ground.
Yeah, well,
it was an old burial ground.
The reason why Tom rented it was the biggest house for them not to see each other in. He had his wing, she had her wing.
I never thought this would have happened. I never thought it was coming. Yep. Hey, guess who's calling Kylie Jenner a fraud and a scamster?
Who?
Everyone.
When I say Real Housewives of New Jersey, which one comes to mind?
Well, I don't watch. I kind of know some of the characters.
I never listen.
Is that the one? Was Tracy Barber on that show?
I have no idea. Listen, I don't watch these housewife shows, but listen,
was it New Jersey she was on?
Yeah, I believe she was.
I
New
thought
Jersey.
she was on New York.
I think the story says Real Housewives of New Jersey star.
Okay.
Or
so,
former. It says former Real Housewives of New Jersey star.
So-
and listen, I don't watch these shows. I don't think I've ever seen any of the Real Housewives of anywhere. What is it? Real Housewives of like Miami and New York, New Jersey, Orange County. And I'm just aware of them because, listen, I do a lot of show prep. I do a lot of reading. So over the years, I'm aware of the Real Housewives shows, but I never really watched them. Come on.
all right, so I watch all of them,
All right, so-
and they are fantastic.
So who do you think I'm talking about?
Teresa Giudice, the one that went to jail. She's the best one from New Jersey.
No, that's not the one I'm talking about. Name another one from New Jersey.
I mean, literally, the only one I know is Tracy Barber, Tiki Barber's wife. That's it.
Okay, so I'm very familiar with the.
Come on.
The one the Duchess. I forget her name.
Duchess?
Yeah, one of the women on Real House. That's New York. Who are you talking about?
Bethany Frankel.
She's New York.
She is New York.
She's Real Housewife of New
Right?
York. She was like season 1 and 2. She's like the biggest star of that show.
Well, then this is wrong. It
Yeah.
says Bethany Frankel, former Real Housewives of New Jersey star.
No, New York. Bethany
Well,
Frankel was
then,
in New York.
then guys, then the story's wrong.
Well,
it says it right here.
I'm glad to be a Real
right.
Housewives super fan to tell you that she's from New York. All the New Jerseys.
Dude, that's scary.
The New Jersey ones were like trash. I mean, that's why I loved it.
Well, then they have the story wrong. But the reason why I'm doing the story is not. Here are the facts on this. Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives is calling Kylie Jenner a scamster. She's saying, girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. Kylie Jenner and the whole Kylie Cosmetics, she's made like, what, hundreds of millions of dollars from the Kylie Cosmetics?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bethany's the one. She has the alcoholic beverages.
Well,
Skinny girls.
Here's the deal. Kylie Cosmetics has some kind of birthday PR box, and it features a 3-piece birthday lip crayon set and lip gloss set in a large box, and it's $175. So you get the cosmetics in the box for $175. And Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives says, don't do it. It's a ripoff. It's a scam. And she's pointing out that you can get all of the actual cosmetics for just $58. And that means that the crappy box is $117. So here's Bethany Frankel from Real Housewives calling Kylie Jenner a scam artist.
All right, so I know you would poke fun at these people on these reality shows,
Oh,
but
geez.
Bethany has built an empire.
What the hell is she doing?
She has a whole line of skinny girl beverages. She was actually a shark on Shark Tank.
Okay.
She's risen to that level of.
So what the hell was? I mean, she was
the
one of the
shark.
sharks.
She's risen to that level of business notoriety.
She wasn't selling some motorized toilet seat lifter.
No, I think she invested in the motorized toilet seat lifter.
Whatever.
She's like, that's so handy. I'm investing. But yeah, so she knows about business.
Right.
So
She's probably trying to get it, marketing ploy of some sort, calling out the Kardashians. She's done that.
A couple of pieces of business here that we got to deal with. Yes, I did get the check. I have it right here. Was that an email you got, or was that
yes,
a text?
I received a text and I emailed it to you.
Yes, Gene, I have your check. I opened this yesterday. I have a $300 check from Jean Lamb from St. Pete. And she said that she doesn't use her phone or computer for money transactions. But here is a check for $300 for the American Red Cross for hurricane relief.
That's amazing.
This is very nice. And then Jean also put a bunch of pens in. She put these multi-function pens in there that have a little level bubble in the pen, a ruler on the pen, and then at the very end, it has that rubberized tip to use it as like a touchscreen, stylus.
that's a pretty handy pen.
Yeah, she sent me through. Hey, Gene, thank you so much. So I'm holding a check for the American Red Cross for $300. Gene, thank you. We really appreciate it. Fester, can you make sure this gets to the American Red Cross?
Yeah.
Or give it to,
I'll give it to
our accounting department, make sure it gets there? Gene, that was very, very nice of you. And folks, if you do want to donate to the American Red Cross, and we highly encourage that you do, please go to myq105.com/donate. That's myq105.com/donate. What happened in Southwest Florida could have happened here. And if you use our link, myq105.com/donate, that link guarantees that the money does not go to the American Red Cross General National Fund. It guarantees that that money is going to be earmarked for Southwest Florida, for hurricane-stricken areas here in Florida. So that's a good thing. So make the donation. What else did you send me here, Roxanne? Just doing a little paperwork cleanup.
Yeah. I just keep sending. I mean, the text lines are just. I apologize
so
to everyone who's sending stuff. I cannot get back to everybody.
Yeah, the text lines are out of control. And listen, this show is clearly growing in leaps and bounds every single day. I just need it to be. I got a. All right. Anyway, so you just sent me a text. This is an email, but this is a text you got, right?
I think so. Yes.
Hey MJ, had to go buy some Tempty cream cheese after you talked about it the other morning. So good, in all caps. You're absolutely right. I have heard your voice on the radio around Tampa Bay for a long time that I've lived here. It's as if you're an old friend and we hear your voice. Keep on keeping on.
So this is a cream cheese email?
Oh, no, this is a text that Roxanne then took the text and emailed it to me.
Cream cheese text.
Yeah. And, I think I'm part of the problem with Tempty cream cheese being out of stock a lot of times.
You talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
You're part of several problems.
Now, Winn-Dixie, they don't sell it. Winn-Dixie does not sell Tempty. I can only find Tempty at Publix. So Publix is a lot of times sold out of Tempty. Folks, if you want the best cream cheese, you want Tempty. It's a little pink container. It's TEMPTEE. And it is it's famous New York cream cheese. Been around for, 100 and something years. This is great, great cream cheese. So thank you for the text, the email. We do appreciate it. Yes, Fester.
Tempty is a division of Breakstone.
Yeah. So I don't know if they were always Breakstones, but yeah. So,
all right.
And then Breakstones, I think, aren't they owned by probably one of the big conglomerates? I don't know. So, all right, when we get back, the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on a Friday, we got to talk about the big marijuana story from yesterday. That kind of, hit the news. Also, do you hear what's exploding with the hurricane and water damage? Hey, Fester, dude, you just paid a lot of money for this, and they're exploding.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So water damage, flood damage, hurricane issues, this stuff is exploding, and you just spent $70,000 on one?
Oh, that. I thought you were talking about something else.
What else do you think I'm talking about?
I spent a couple of bucks lately on a couple different
All right, hang on a minute. Oh, and then Kim Kardashian. Andrew, were you able to find audio on that? Do you have it? All right, you've got to hear this. Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry. Every day that she breathes, it seems that her IQ drops. All right, hold on. All of this next. We got a lot of stuff to cram in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show next here on Q105. Steve and Elizabeth. West Airlines.
Huh?
I'm not stroking out or anything. Northwest Airlines. You got the MJ Morning Show on Q105. They don't exist any
I was about
longer.
to say, I haven't heard of them in a long time.
Northwest Airlines. That was Tone Loc and Wild Thing. And Tone Loc was supposed to be on my nighttime radio show. This is back in 1989. This would have been the spring of 89. And Tone Loc was in town for a concert or whatever the hell he was doing. And the record company, Tone Loc's record, was that Delicious Vinyl or whatever the heck it was? Anyway, so Tone Loc's record company, they were bringing him to my radio studio, and I was doing the nighttime show. I was doing 6 to 10 p.m. on Z104, WNVZ Norfolk, Newport News. And Tone Loc was supposed to come by, and Tone Loc was like 2 hours late. He's supposed to be there at 6 o'clock. He was going to guest DJ with me. So Tone Loc was going to be my guest DJ.
That's cool.
On the MJ Kelly Show on Z104, right?
He has the deepest voice.
So the guy was 2 hours late. Didn't get there till like 8 o'clock at night. Tone Loc comes in and literally used a couple of 4-letter words, starts cursing. And we didn't have delay back then. You know, well, I mean, delay existed. We just didn't have delay on a
like a dump button.
We didn't have a dump button on a top 40 radio station. And he starts cursing about Northwest Airlines. He goes on a rip. And this was in Norfolk. So he was landing on Northwest Airlines at Norfolk International Airport. And he just is tearing Northwest a new one. Just ripping them up and down and sideways because the flight was delayed and this and that. Just railing on Northwest Airlines. Turned out we had this huge flyaway promotion going on with Northwest Airlines at the time.
God.
Oh, my God. So Tone Loc caused this major problem. It was like, with this huge promotion, Northwest is flying you to, and we had we give away trips like every day for Northwest Airlines.
Back in the day when Southwest was around then, right? So
they were, but not in our part of the country. Back then they were Southwest. They were like out
regional.
They were like a regional out in the Southwest. Yeah.
So they weren't doing their "Wanna Get Away" commercials, but they could have brought on Tone Loc as "Wanna Get Away" after you bash this other airline when you're not supposed to.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Delicious Vinyl is a record company.
No.
I did say.
I know.
Man,
yeah, you're right.
I used to have that T-shirt. Hey, Michelle, where is that? Is that I had a great Delicious Vinyl T-shirt. I loved it. It's the guy eating a record. No, seriously, it's Delicious Vinyl. Anyway, so Tone Loc wrecked our whole promotion. Northwest Airlines was all pissed off. Anyway, so you know what happened to Northwest? They merged with
Delta?
Yes, they did. Yep.
I only know that because I typed in Northwest Airlines and Delta links popped up.
There you go. So that's my Tone Loc story. 9:36 at the MJ Morning Show. Fester?
Yes.
You just bought one of these things. You bought the Model Y Tesla, right?
I did.
Yeah, I should remember that because I always say, why?
Wow.
Why? The issue is that some of the flooded out electric cars, including Teslas, in fact, I'm looking at a white Tesla, looks like a Model S on fire in Southwest Florida that was a flood car. Listen to this headline. Electric vehicles are exploding from water damage after Hurricane Ian, Florida official warns.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, top Florida official. You know what? Let me try to call Jimmy Petronas. Where's my cell phone?
Is it up there somewhere?
Yeah, here it is. Let me try to call Jimmy Petronas, who's the chief financial officer for the state, and Jimmy Petronas is also the state fire marshal. All right, let me try to call. All right, here's Jimmy's cell number up at the Panhandle, but I think he's obviously still in Southwest Florida. 850.
Yeah, so that's the Model X that caught fire.
Hey, Andrew, go ahead and pick up the phone here. All right, see if Jimmy Petronas picks up. Let him know it's MJ. He knows me by Schnitt, so see if he's available. But I've got a story here. Top Florida state official. It went right to voicemail.
He might still be down there where there's really spotty cell coverage.
It probably is. Hey, Fester, let me hand you the cell phone here. All right. I'm dialing him up right now off the air on my cell phone. Maybe he'll recognize. Is it going? It's going right to voicemail. All right. Yeah, he might be in spotty cell service area. But the story references Jimmy Petronis. A Florida state official warned Thursday that firefighters have battled a number of fires caused by electric vehicle batteries waterlogged from Hurricane Ian. EV batteries that have been waterlogged in the wake of the hurricane are at risk of corrosion, which could lead to unexpected fires, according to Jimmy Petronis, the state's top financial officer and fire marshal.
All right, so it looks like these people tried to take their cars out for a ride.
There's a ton of EVs disabled from Ian. As those batteries corrode, fires start.
Really?
That's a new challenge that our firefighters have not faced before. And we've heard the stories. Remember there was a Tesla fire. It took like 45,000 gallons of water and like 4 hours to put the car fire out.
Yeah, it was a bad fire.
My God, what a mess. Hey, what about this marijuana story? With Biden announcing yesterday, the president announcing that he is going to pardon all like marijuana possession cases that are a federal case. There's not that many. There's only like 6,500. But, one of the issues here is that some of the people that are going to get pardoned, they had their more egregious crimes reduced to marijuana possession in some kind of a plea deal.
So you take a plea for just possession, and now you get off altogether.
Yeah. So that's just one of the little sidebars here, one of the repercussions of the story. But Biden said today, I'm announcing 3 steps that I'm taking to end this failed approach. First, I'm announcing a pardon of all prior federal offenses of simple possession of marijuana. You know what? I'm not going to dwell on this thing, but you know where this is headed, right?
Federal legalization?
Yeah, it's probably headed toward at least the real push to legalize marijuana on a federal level. Of course, nationally, you've had medical marijuana legalized, and you've had recreational pot legalized in a bunch of states. Like Florida, we're only medical marijuana.
Right.
But I believe that recreational marijuana, isn't that supposed to be on the ballot in 2024? If I'm not
Sounds
mistaken.
right.
Yeah, so. Now, Fester, what is your deal with bathrooms here? Knocking, there's a whole debate on whether you knock or you don't knock on certain bathroom doors.
I saw somebody making this point on Reddit, and I think I absolutely agree that you should never knock on a bathroom in a public setting, a public restroom. When you walk into the stall area, you give it a slight push. It's either locked or it isn't. There's no need to knock. If you knock and somebody's in it,
right,
you get the same response as you would if it was just locked anyway.
Yeah, so then if you knock, you're basically asking a stranger to talk to you while they're peeing. And some people don't like to do that.
Somebody's in here.
Well, I'm in here. Taken.
I'm using it.
Yeah, what do you
say? Awkward.
It's going to be a minute.
Hey, what do you think the Bucks are going to do this weekend? Are they going to do another number 2?
Yeah, probably the same thing you're doing in there.
All right.
So the guy brings to the point, you walk into a public restroom, you see a door closed, you knock on it, and then it opens up and you see nobody's in there. But if it stays locked, you assume it's some people, they knock, and unless somebody gives an audible reply, they start pushing on it.
The category on Reddit, the discussion thread on Reddit was, there is no good reason to be knocking on public bathroom doors before attempting to use it.
I agree. I guess I never really thought about it.
Why do I need to consume my brain with this?
Well, think about it. If you just push on the door and it's locked, then you know to move on. You don't need to knock and disturb anybody.
All right.
If you push on the door and it opens and there's a person in there, then it's
Too
on
late.
them for not being the locker.
Doing all squatty potty in there?
Yeah, poor locking etiquette.
Right.
Did the Reddit thread link to another thread about whether you are supposed to talk to people when you're in a stall? If you know,
next
like
to you?
Especially like it always happens in workplaces, because we know people, we know each other when we go in there.
Hey, how about the border crisis?
Oh, how about that?
All right, so before we get out of here today, I want to make you feel like a genius, all right? Before we leave today, how'd you like to feel like you're a Mensa member? Kim Kardashian apparently did not know what tortellini was. She was dining at a restaurant in Milan. And was this on the Kardashians, I guess? Yeah, while dining out during Milan's Fashion Week. In yesterday's episode of the Kardashians, she asked the waiter, what is tortellini? Come on, really? Here's the audio.
What is tortellini? What?
Like a ravioli.
Maybe I'll get that.
What? Come on. And then he says it's like a ravioli.
What is tortellini? What?
Like a ravioli.
Maybe I'll get that.
Come on, she didn't know what tortellini was?
Sheltered Amish life she's lived.
Oh, my God. I'd like the stuff from one of those Amish fireplaces.
It's like a ravioli. He's right.
How do you not know what tortellini is?
Maybe you only eat the ravioli. Eh?
But how about like those Buitoni raviolis that they sell in the plastic package? Oh, that's right. She's probably never been to a supermarket. Wasn't there a story also with the Kardashians that they went shopping at a supermarket and they remember that story?
They went to a Vons for like the first time in 20 years.
Yeah, and then
the mother went.
They were getting a lot of backlash about, oh my God, you're so elitist, you know. I mean, you're making a big deal out of things that we people do every single day.
I think the Kris Kardashian loved pushing the shopping cart. Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah, she didn't know it. Do you think she didn't know what tortellini was, or was that just like a staged little scripted thing?
She's had to have heard the word before in her life. Maybe she didn't know exactly what it was stuffed with.
We got to get out of here. Before we do, though, I want to talk about